sound like you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I've got two people with me in person. I'm going to say full names right now, just for fun. Bella Zoe Martinez.
Hi.
Great
Howdy,
to
hi.
Yes, and Melissa Jean Martinez Areffi.
Yep.
There we go. But from now on,
Nobody knows
Bella
my middle
and
name.
Melissa.
Yippee.
Bella and Melissa, who, all right, so my introduction is going to include, first of all, I met you both when Glory and Justice, which, was that the first short?
Mm-hmm.
you made?
Yepers.
Your first short played at Film Invasion Los Angeles in 2022.
Uh-huh.
And love that film. It was so fun. It was so fun to have.
She wanted to be able to swear.
It was a wonderful screening. Everything was great. That was back when we were in a cute little playhouse in Sherman Oaks. And
Yeah, that little white front.
yeah,
So
yeah,
cute.
the White
I
Fire.
think I remember that.
Fond memories of the White Fire.
The only reason why you wrote that is so you could swear.
And?
Good point.
Cursing's important, in my opinion. And as I said, you can say fuck as many times as you want on
22.
on this
22.
podcast.
23!
Yes. And that is a reference to your follow-up film that played at Film Invasion Los Angeles just a few
Yeah.
months ago in 2025, June 2025.
Yepers.
Once More Like Rain Man.
What's
now-
even funnier is I remember doing an exception thing for one of my awards, and in the audience when I swore, Amy was like 23.
Yeah, somebody from the audience yelled out, 23!
They followed. That's so cool that they were paying attention. Needless to say, if you
It
can't,
was one of our
if you're
family
listening to this and you
friends. We
can't
counted.
figure it out, the fucks are counted in the film Once More Like
And
Rain
we
Man.
counted
Yepers.
them in the script to make sure because we knew people would count.
You knew.
Autistic community.
Not stupid.
Right.
They're going to know.
Right, you've got
And
a
not only
counting.
will they know, they're going to make sure that you know. That they,
Okay.
But
Yeah.
wait, before we start riffing,
Okay.
I'm gonna list them off. So Once More Like Rain Man took home from Film Invasion Los Angeles the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Comedy, the Grand Jury Award for Best Performance by a Cast in a Short, the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Direction Comedy for your director Sue-Ann Pien, and also the Filmmakers Award for Outstanding Cast Performance. And for those who don't know, I hope you two know, but maybe but the Grand Jury Awards are decided by the selection committee, and the Filmmakers Awards are decided by alumni who vote. Which you've been a juror for that.
I didn't feel like it was appropriate to vote this time.
Yeah, no. When you have
Yes.
one in.
when you have a film,
Then I
You
got
might
a
have
horse
been
in that
it
race.
biased.
doesn't feel like you could vote because you're like, oh frick, I want my thing to win, but
Do you want to be a princess?
do you want to win?
Mm-hmm.
And wait, should I say what you both did for each film, or I think because I've got it right here. Well,
Hee.
all right. So back in
Go,
2022,
go.
Glory and Injustice. You were both writers, both producers,
I'm an actress.
and you were the lead actor.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
then
Definitely
Sean
the lead
Crouch,
actor.
who wrote the showrunner for like the numbers, the 100, Lore, Dominion. He actually was one of the
also did
writers
The
on it too.
Exorcist?
He was too. Yeah, there
And The
are.
Exorcist, yes.
Yes, and so that's Glory and Injustice.
I play the daughter of a supervillain, which is basically the custody over Deadpool.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The supervillain that lost his
Absolutely.
mojo.
And
Yeah.
her dad's trying to, and she's trying to get her dad back in the
It has a
game.
happy ending because he gets his mojo back and he's going to go do horrible things with your help.
Well, of course.
Exactly.
Love
You got
it.
to do what you love.
So fun.
Although she's like,
It's like she can't tell her friends at school what her dad does, like, because he's not doing it. Like, hey,
it's embarrassing.
it's embarrassing that you're not doing your thing.
And,
I can't
and
tell my friends all the horrible things you've done in recent memory because you haven't done any.
exactly. Well, and Once More Like Rain Man, Bella was the soul. You got soul writing credit, I believe. Right?
yeah, I'm in the background.
Yeah, and
And help from the other insane
You had
people
help
in
from
our
the
house.
peanut gallery.
and many producers, but you were both producers on it as well.
Well,
and of
if
course,
she's going
Bella's
to do
again
it,
the lead actor.
she's going to learn how to produce what everybody does.
Yeah. So
I already asked questions. Like when I went to sets with my parents, I always asked questions.
And every set you've worked on,
Yeah,
You've-
that too.
pelted the crew with questions.
Because
And
I'm
they,
right
they
there.
answer.
yeah, and people like that's actually one.
Josh
isn't that like-
Hutcherson was the person that gave her that advice. I'm like, 'cause you actually have solutions for stuff. He's like, yeah, well, I spent my time annoying the hell out of the crew to ask questions of everybody.
I took
also-
that to heart.
Right? Isn't that one of the best ways, though, to get to not just to learn, but for when you ask someone a question, you're actually showing them respect. You're saying you know something, and you know I respect you and I care about your opinion. Like people love to be asked questions.
That, and you
I think
realize
one of my
how
flaws
important
is I don't ask
everybody's
enough.
job is. You don't realize what
And how
they
fun
do.
it is to ride a lift gate.
Although you did
Yeah.
ask them how fun it was to ride the lift gate, and they're like,
Just
"Yeah,
go
yeah,
up
it
and
is kind
down.
of." No, they took her on rides. I'm like, "You guys are just screwing around on the lift gate now."
In other words,
And-
you know how to ask, and it's pretty hard to say no to you, I imagine.
She'll play you like a banjo at an Ozark hoedown.
Right? All right, so there we go. So normally I start off with the question I warned you. I just ask how you all got into the entertainment industry, into acting, writing, performing, all kinds of things.
Okay.
So you want to share like the earliest inspiration that got you into it?
Sure,
Do we
sure,
start with?
yeah.
Should I
Start with the old one?
I assume it's clear that this is a mother-daughter situation.
Let's hope.
So
Yes.
so
No, I
whomever would
found her
like
on
to
the
go
side of the road.
first.
No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Bruh.
I'm like, there's a reason why she's
And
off.
by the way, everyone's been given fresh baked cookies by my daughter.
I
so,
know, which are
So I think we're
amazing.
riding a sugar
Yummy.
high. So
Oh God, yeah.
Shout out to the awesome one.
yes,
Yay!
to Lily. By the way, funny story. I think episode among the first handful of episodes, there was actually a day. There was like a no school day, so it was just Lily and I home all day. And she says, "I want to do your podcast." So actually, when she was about 6 or 7, like over 10 years
Yeah.
or 7 years ago, I guess she was 7 years ago.
But still very precocious.
But there's an interview with her on this
cool.
podcast, which is kind of fun. Anyway,
That is fun.
I won't mention my family again because it's about you two.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
but you're keeping it in the family.
So yeah. So who wants to go first?
I actually, my husband and I, he was an analyst for Merrill Lynch, and I was a lobbyist in the 90s for the California university system. And I worked with like Senator Ayala, was a Democrat out of Cucamonga.
Right. And
And
when
so-
is that when you met?
We met in college.
In
I was in
college?
an opera, and he was friends with the lighting tech. So, and he took a creative writing class his last semester of college, and fell in love with it, and did an internship at Beacon Pictures out here.
And he
And
also.
but we ran away to Hollywood, and our parents thought we were insane. So
He also faked books on book reports.
well, yeah, that was he had dyslexia, so he didn't like to read. So he would just find an obscure book, make up the whole thing. But he did it convincingly enough to where he never got caught. So I'm like, so wait, so now your
That would
penance
be a
is to be a
kick-ass
reader.
short story. I mean, short
Yeah.
film, wouldn't it be?
And so we became readers at Beacon Pictures and did Air Force
After
One.
reading Percy Jackson, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I wish the author Percy Jackson thought of that one.
We make stuff up. See, my mother used to tell me that
you-
telling
you
stories
moved, so
would
you
get
did,
me nowhere.
So you did the hard thing. You came out to L.A.
Yeah,
and you
and it was
started
terrifying.
And for most people
Then
should know
again-
that that's one of the first things people do when they get here is that you become a reader and you read tons of scripts.
Oh God! Well, I was a speed reader, so they gave me everything. And but since I'd been in politics, I already knew how to lie really well. Although Bill Clinton, most amazing memory of any person you would ever meet.
I've heard
Like,
that he remembers
his teleprompter
details.
his teleprompter went down his first inaugural, and he remembered the whole thing from memory.
But also,
But he
I've
also
heard he's one
remem-
of
yeah.
like
My
he shakes your hand
professor-
and says,
He's
"Hey,
like, he remembered like stuff about my family that I didn't remember, like my wife's surgery and this and that. What we talked about. He goes, "We talked for 5 minutes at a rubber chicken dinner." You know, he met 1,000 people that night, easy, and he just very energetic, charismatic personality. But he makes you feel like you're really interested.
yeah."
And I mean, I'm sure to some degree he is, but when we ran away, my mother's like, "So telling stories is going to get you nowhere." I'm like, in the South, telling stories means lying. So now I'm like, why? I get paid very well to do it now. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
You're
So-
a professional lawyer.
And there's a joke in there that going from politics to Hollywood
It's
was
not much of a
was-
stretch.
was you actually maybe even ended up around
Kind of
more honest
lateral.
people. Yeah.
Actually, I said we were honest about being full of shit back then. So,
Absolutely.
like, at least we're not buying it this time. Well, I don't know, sometimes. But, yeah, here it was a very interesting dynamic. But, I mean, we ended up with an agent from CAA. We had a writing career. We wrote for Stan Lee when he still had Stanley Media before
And he had
his...
the interesting idea of streaming
And he came up with this really weird idea about streaming
before it was even
before
a thing.
Y2K, and I mean, I'm talking this man had more energy than you.
Yeah, like
he's
25
jumping
years
on
ago,
the
yeah.
conference table going, I got this really great idea. And you're
And then he
"What the
came
hell?"
up with Scuzzle.
And he gave us a title for this thing called Scuzzle. Like, what? What the hell's that? Search for cybernetic, unidentified, zoological, xenomorphic life entities. Well, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. Make it up. So we actually had an entire series, but his vice president embezzled $14 million and skipped to Brazil. So they ceded the rights back over to us. But we had like Phyllis Diller for Queen
It's
de
still a cool
Com.
thing, though.
Yeah, Queen de Com, who was basically a very anal retentive, nip-tuck kind of woman who's ruling the internet with an iron fist. And
Does that sound like Queen from Undertale? Wait, no, not
Yeah.
Undertale, Deltarune.
insane. All of them were insane. So, but yeah, it was illuminating. But when the kids were diagnosed with autism, we kind of had to leave that. And we ended up doing locations for filming TV because one of my friends was directing his first feature, and he's like, "So I need somebody to do locations. Can you do locations?" So I'm like, "Yeah." And then I had to call my producer mentor. What does a location manager do? Like literally,
And
I had
then you
no
started-
idea what I was agreeing
Yeah.
to.
But I mean,
You're
that's
just like, yeah, and then you just stop to think for a minute and like, fuck.
but that's so. I mean, most people I know learned on the job.
Yeah, well, there's
especially in
nothing
that
to teach
industry,
you how to do it.
Right, this industry.
Unless
that's
somebody
the only way to
shows you
learn.
how, there's no like film school, there's no college route, there's nothing that's going to teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
Because you deal with the city, the business, and the state, all the
It's
permitting,
talking to
all of the
people.
regulations.
And it kind of makes you
But-
the perfect producer now because
Yeah, it's a
because
huge
you
chunk.
started with the creative and then you got into the nuts and bolts of it all and locations
That and talking
and
people
the
into
practical.
talking myself into somebody's homes. I
Yeah,
know you don't know me. Can I take pictures of your house? Can I come back like with 300 of my closest friends?
yeah. And will you and,
Why does that
and
remind me of crows?
We'll pay you. We'll put you up though because you really don't want to see this.
Why does that remind me of crows?
Because we just kind of take over like the circus. And it's like a monkey shit fight at the zoo, but it actually does make sense when you put it all together.
It's a murder of crows.
I don't know how I managed to be on this planet for 57 years without hearing the words monkey shit fight at the zoo. But that is now my official favorite. I'm going to use. I'm going to try so hard to lock that into my memory.
My mother-in-law started
Oh.
cracking up because I was like, "Oh, good Lord!" But one of my friends is like, "Oh, sweet baby Jesus in a manger wearing tube socks," and she was like, "Wait, what did you say?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but it was very oddly specific, wasn't it?"
I guess I can go like with my thing. I got into like performing because of like I used to just make a lot of like videos. It was just like for fun, like
With your dolls.
with my dolls and my
They
toys.
had very active social lives.
Yeah, like I've always been interested in creating stuff and drawing like comics. I love drawing. I have a whole universe called The Burdens We Carry that I've been working on for over the past 10 years.
It's like freaking Game of Thrones. Like,
Well,
Yeah,
level of
very
the universe.
intense.
It's really cool.
Very, very intricate world building.
Yeah.
I've been
and
like
very dark because I'm somewhat disturbed by you.
Yeah, it's a supernatural mystery horror with psychological horror elements.
But you were also
but
you,
also like
you,
pulling-
you were born into a creative
Yeah.
family and
Me and my like I remember Kennedy, my sister, and my brother Alex. Like we like do other like film related things too. Like Kennedy would just like direct us and like make little videos like on
order you
iMovie.
around, but
you
I'd
had no
also-
choice but to
Yeah.
act.
Well,
Well, with autism,
When your older siblings
With
are like, I'm going to
autism-
point a camera at you. and-
Here's the thing with autism, like masking. That's actually acting. That's just acting.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, I used to like also like just make vlogs with my friends as well. So that was something I just did for fun, like naturally with my friends, and I just mess around on like iMovie or something.
Well,
and I
ironically, your
try to
sister is
post
actually-
it on like YouTube, but I did. It's like it's not like it got anywhere for that thing. I mean, I think
her
those videos
sister
are private
actually,
now, but
Kennedy, is kind of a natural born director. She's like Lucy from Peanuts. I mean, I'm like more ordering
much
you
like
what to do,
Lucy.
but actually in a really constructive way. But
That was
she
fantastic,
saw
just a little.
the opening song for Reservoir Dogs. We did not let her watch the movie. She was 11, but she got Angry Birds. We got them on green screen sticks. We put them up
Yeah.
against the green screen. We shot plate shots.
She got
and
the Girl Scout
She
troop.
got a Girl Scout troop to do the birds. And we thought she was just going to yell perfect every cut, every take. And then one of the birds falls out of the frame, and she's like, "Cut! That was fantastic. Just a little. Can we try this again now with the bird in the frame?" And we're like, "Fantastic, just a little." That is the most backhanded compliment I've ever heard.
I love telling that story, especially the one like with the David Hasselhoff one too.
Yeah, she meant David Hasselhoff because he's an opera star.
Because he did Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway.
And that was the only thing she'd
And that's
seen.
the only thing she knew him from.
She did not care about the
But she
car.
also asked Justin Bieber if he could sing like David.
Because my husband
'Cause
was
he's an
managing
opera
on the
star.
Killing Hasselhoff movie. And so Kennedy finds out, we're like, can you sign this? He's like, she knows him from what?
Dude, bring her in.
And so she got permission from actually the songwriters from the musical for Jekyll and Hyde and David and Rovio from Angry Birds. And she animated this conversation song from Jekyll and Hyde.
It was so
And
cool.
but of course she is the villain. It's Nightmare Kennedy. And you're like, oh, okay, because I heard her singing "God Damn You Set Me Free," and I'm like, wait, what are you singing?
The
What
frick
the hell
you
are
doing,
listening to?
bro?
But her sister's literal, so
Yeah.
and
And I would bet for him
She
being
thinks-
identified for the
He-
opera
oh my
singing
God, he was
would
so
be his
happy.
favorite. That was probably
He was
wonderful
so
for
happy.
him.
Follows her on-
He called his parents and his girlfriend, now wife, about it.
Mm-hmm.
About the one person on this planet that knew him as an opera star. But I still think it's funny how she asked Justin Bieber if he could sing, just
'Cause it took a
because
minute.
David was an
Well,
opera
David
star.
and
She
Ken
did
Jeong were
not care
peeing
who Justin
themselves.
Bieber was. She didn't
Didn't
even
care.
know who he was. She just asked.
it was an honest question,
It was
and
just an
David
honest
peed
question.
himself laughing.
Autistic, not stupid. She's just.
So because David is an opera star, and that is she
Yeah.
does not care about the car, does not care about slow motion running on the beach, and he
not
actually
care about any of that.
he and the two of them still follow each other on freaking Instagram.
And they sang for the cast and crew.
And they sang for the
that's-
cast and crew.
Yeah,
it-
he's
they're
always
so
loved
sweet.
singing, right? He was a German. He was
Well,
a
he
German
sang when the
pop
Berlin
star,
Wall,
right?
Yeah.
He was performing at the Berlin
Yeah.
Wall, and that's when they tore it down.
Like that was his secret, was that he didn't make it as a pop singer here, but he was famous
well,
in Germany
you know what
as a
his
singer.
you know what his pop star debut here? What happened?
No, I don't remember.
We watched a Ford Bronco go 4 miles an hour on the freeway.
That was that night.
That was
He was-
that night.
That sounds crazy.
I still remember I was watching an NBA Finals game, and all of a sudden
And
I'm
all
like,
of a sudden
why
I
do I
watch
have to
this
watch a
Bronco.
Like this
Bronco?
Like
Second-
driving, like your
I'm
grandma
like, there's a
driving
live
with
sporting
Ferris
event going on.
Bueller.
I don't care that there's a football player in a car, to be honest.
I can ramble a bit more about like some of my creative stuff.
Absolutely.
So I did get more creative, like as I found out like more stuff on the internet, because I used to be obsessed with watching comic dubs, like YouTube comic dubs of like taking like fan comics or like actual official comics and like people giving their own voices to them, and like I remember being absolutely obsessed with them. Like yes, the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. Yes, Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Well-
I had no idea that they were actually like fan creations. I didn't know like it could actually be a thing. But it's what some of that is
All
what
three
got
of
me
them
through
would actually
middle
direct each
school.
other.
I didn't know what Tumblr was fully. But a lot of the comic dubs I liked were from Tumblr. Don't ask me
Well,
why. They just
you're-
happened to be from Tumblr.
Nobody could actually understand Alex at first. He
Yeah.
was nonverbal for a long time. And then
But I was one of the few that actually could.
yes, she was his translator.
A lot of the time.
And
sometimes
so
I just didn't
he
want to
did- he
translate
talked when
because
he was
I
about
didn't want to get in
6.
trouble.
Yeah, you would not translate when he was going to get in trouble for it.
I didn't wanna get
and then
in
he got
trouble. What
braces
do you
like around
mean?
12 and you started to understand him and you started getting in trouble because I'm like, have you been saying that this whole time? And then
I
he
was
had
just
jaw
nodding
surgery,
in the
but he
background.
couldn't, I mean, for the longest time, people could not understand him very well. And a lot of it was his autism, a lot of it was he just couldn't form the words.
Because of
But-
his jaw.
Yeah, because he had to have his jaw redone. But now he is like all four Marx Brothers and Don Rickles and like the old guys from the Muppet Show. But her sister
And
takes
puns.
everything literally,
And he takes nothing seriously.
which if he comes running down the hall giggling, they're coming to kill him. And he feels that
much.
it is worth it. Like
Yeah.
when she first started filming with her dolls, we had this little Christmas tree in the
I was
in the
try-
den,
I was actually
and you had
trying
this
to-
weird like doll circle around
Look,
it.
I think I was trying to mimic that one scene from The Grinch Who Stole
Stole
Christmas.
Christmas.
Because
Yes.
I was obsessed with that thing, and I would just mimic it because of, Christmas time, and I just wanted to give that
But he
sense
wasn't
of
allowed to tease her, so he started
nostalgia.
tormenting the dolls. And then he picked up one and ran with it.
And poor Sam was like, they're okay.
And we get home from like a Christmas party. They're like, first of all, they're okay. I'm like, oh God, what happened? And so he takes off with the doll. Instead of being upset about it, she comes through the door like a samurai warrior and then karate kicks him between the shoulder blades. And he goes flying, takes out the tree, the rest of the dolls, everything.
I kid
But
you.
he's hyposensitive. So he gets up like,
He
ooh,
doesn't
my
feel
turn.
pain easily.
So, and that's when she screams and runs the other way. And I'm like,
I
okay,
didn't know I could do that.
We got to find a way to get you guys paid for this kind of stuff because, God knows that the medical bills are going to.
Well,
And Bella, are you the youngest?
Yep, I'm the youngest.
Yeah,
Kennedy's
I'm the
oldest.
youngest of
Alex is
two.
the middle child.
I'm the youngest of 5.
Yeah.
My parents
Alex
have been
is the
beaten
middle
into
child.
I mean, are we allowed to say the youngest is always the best?
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, 'cause we're
my
just-
parents have been beaten into
Right.
submission by
Yeah,
that
exactly.
time.
The
but
parents-
you also have to be a better liar because my parents had heard it all. Like the one time I could not think of a lie, I'm like,
She just told
I
the
just
truth.
told the truth. And my dad's like, do you expect me to believe that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Dad, this is me. If I was going to make something up, I'd come up with some better shit than that. And he's like, yeah, you got a point. I'm like, and I got out of trouble just because he was so surprised by it. I'm like, thank God.
So surprised. Yeah, you exactly.
I'm like, God.
I have insane friends. Like, I know like throughout like middle school, like when I was being bullied like very badly, like I went to comics and like anime. I loved watching magical girls, like because like I could see like more of those like magical worlds and just get away from the horrible reality for a while, and then just like
Bella, that's what we do. We
and
film.
and what happened after like when I finally like got to like 7th grade, like I started seeing like more of those like comic dubs and like watching stuff, and just like that's how I got into acting was like I was at a Michael's trying to do like a custom doll project because I like doing that kind of stuff, and I met one of the talent scouts. I forgot her name, but like she complimented me and like asked if, hey, you want to come down to the playground like for like an audition?
The Playground
like,
LA, which is a conservatory, not like, hey, you want to go to the playground?
Not like the playground, like it's a
That's
playground.
a good.
not like,
That was a
it's
good
an-
note to add.
It's an actor's playground.
Yeah.
Because
But Gary
because
Spatz.
Gary Spatz. Gary is such a lovable dork. He's very very sweet.
He's the one that basically resurrected the Mickey Mouse Club and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
he is.
And so he was a dialogue coach and stuff for a bunch of well-known
Very
actors.
So you got
kind.
invited down.
Yeah, there's him and Gayla and all the other teachers. I actually interned there now and help the younger students.
Very cool.
A lot of the classes I like to help are definitely the younger kids. There's like this. There's a class of I just like calling them the littles because they're all smaller than me. There was a little girl named Daisy and a little girl named Yuli.
Yes, just don't call your sister a little one
Yuli
anymore.
loves to. I know exactly what Yuli's thinking because she'll tell me directly, like just yap about her day and like yap about anything that's on her mind. She might be a little 4-year-old, but she knows exactly what she's thinking. She knows exactly what she wants.
And you can't stop
And
her.
I know like the most chaotic one definitely has to be Zoe. And not like to mix up with my last name, but like still Zoe. Definitely the most chaotic one.
Yeah, well, you guys kind of had to end up being creative because
Yeah.
we didn't
Because
actually
that's-
encourage it because we're like,
that's the
Yeah, you
only
didn't
thing
have
is
to.
that
I
I
This is a
kind
little
of felt
But
insane.
wait, so you were spotted Michaels and invited to the
Yeah.
the actors playground,
and that's the first
then
place I really felt accepted.
yeah, and you
Honestly.
started. You
'Cause
just
the school
it felt
district
very
was horrible.
natural for you to act.
Yeah, like because the school district was
well,
really
that way she was like, oh my
horrible.
God, I can get paid to do this?
Yeah, because the school district kind of left me for dead.
They tend to.
They
No,
did.
I mean, like,
no,
it was-
they actually left me for dead.
Like-
I was being bullied emotionally and psychologically. It's not like the movies at all. Nah. It was emotional and psychological abuse, and I had never seen that before, so therefore I had no frame of reference because I was only looking at the movies for my only frame of reference. Because you know how the movies are with those classic movies, those classic bullies just like shoving a kid up against the locker, demanding their lunch money or something like that, you know? And they say, tell an adult, stand up to them.
Not
You
when
know
it
what
is
they
the
look
adult.
like. Not when it is someone who looks like exact same height and age and not older and is does not look physically threatening.
Yeah. It took a while to get her out of that school. I won't know which school
It was
but-
Walter Reed school. Future
And we got her
Comics,
over to
that's what.
Millikan. And although a month after being at Millikan, she's like, oh, I'm going to be on a talent show. Like, what?
And that's when I got into Bendy Link Machine around that
And
time.
it was like a 5-hour audition process. There was like 200 kids auditioning.
And it
The
was
prize
great.
was getting into the show. And the first act was a freaking brother and sister duo whose parents were coaches on Dancing with the Stars, and they did a medley. And I'm like, wow, you guys are undercharging for this show.
And
It's
we
like
were having so
$5.
much fun.
And
Everyone
an
was so
aerial
sweet.
ballet troupe. There was like a little tiny Bruno Mars. I'm like, these kids, one kid played Jimi Hendrix. She did a song and dance for Angel of the Stage from Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Which was like
and
Try Hard
and
Ninja.
had everybody like standing up and clapping. And I'm like, okay, well, because
that
I was
was
like,
the
God, I
first
hope you
time
don't
I'd
suck.
ever really
It
performed.
was the first
in
time you
front
were
of
ever
fa-
on stage. And I'm like,
Yeah.
aren't you nervous? She's like, why?
No.
I'm like, well, some people call it stage fright. What's that? Never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know what stage fright was. I had to ask.
And there was no reason for you to, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
No, because like I guess I just had something more frightening than, and I guess it never really registered. And I did do the talent show in my 8th grade year as well, and that's like just how more of that creative stuff just kind of
Doki Doki
grew
Literature
and grew.
Club, and I had not seen it and did not realize how dark it was. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's a little dark. I'm like, wait a minute, because it's like 4 girls. It's a dating game.
It
And
disguises
interacts.
a dating game, but
Yes,
no, that's a
disguised.
psychological
but it's
horror
a psychological
right there.
horror, and they start killing themselves off. And
It's
trying
dark.
to, no matter what you do. So it's kind of a mind screw with you. And,
It's a mind fuck.
and I'm like, but the thing is I'm like, somebody told me about what it was like. I'm like, wait a minute, I just took her sister to see Tosca at the LA Opera, and I'm like, and other than being fat guys in velvet and K-pop, I'm like, they start screwing around with each other, then they start killing each other off, then they kill themselves, and the only one left standing is hit by a bus. So it's the same thing. I'm like, so I suppose it's just less peppy. But she did like 3 costume changes on stage for that.
That one was hard.
Well, Milliken, so actually,
Mm-hmm.
Sherman Oaks Film Festival used to work with Milliken because Milliken had a good little film.
Oh, they
like there
did.
was a teacher there with
Yeah,
a little
there
cinema
was.
program.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Liz.
think I remember some.
And we
of
would
the
always
things there.
highlight their
brought my,
stuff, and then that teacher left for another school, and
Yeah,
just
he
kind of fell
did. I
apart.
remember him.
Yeah.
Lewis. And
He's very-
and he
he
was
was very
great. We're
kind.
actually,
But Milliken
we actually
now
still talk to him.
Louis Armstrong Middle
Yeah.
School.
Yeah, I know.
Because
We still
turned
talk
out
to Louis.
Why
no
did they
one
rename
knew
it?
because the Milliken guy was actually super racist.
Well,
And,
so was
and no
everybody
one
back
knew.
then.
I know he was of his time. Actually, I just shared something that I don't even know is true. It just was. I was told he was super racist.
But I'm like, why assumption? It's like people make assumptions on everything, and I'm like, dude, get more information before coming to a
Well,
conclusion.
everybody
That's
had backward
dumb.
opinions.
For
if
sure.
you look at the time period, I'm like, everybody had backward opinions or something.
Yeah.
But at least they allowed that to move forward. There is that.
Yeah.
So-
but anyhow,
But-
you were at a middle school.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you got
But the
into
thing
a
is,
school
our-
that not only
ironic,
embraced the
yeah.
arts but encouraged you and had all these
And
programs.
those first
I mean,
2 years, though,
yeah.
the woman that organized the talent show is the wife of my dermatologist, and that woman knows how to plan. It's like, it was freaking professionally done. And then they all graduated, and they're like, oh, okay, what do we do now? But, I mean, Kennedy, her sister, was in the film class at Milliken, and I brought in my director of photography from Marvel because we were doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter at the time.
And they stole
they
your
had done
hat.
the one shot. So he brought the one shot in. And Soshi Bleiber, who was
They
my
modeled her
first
hat after
AD.
yours.
But it was my hat. But so Gabby Beristain brought it in. And so we show the one shot for it and everything. And these kids, these are like 7th and 8th graders. And so they're like, any questions? And they're like, yes, with the rule of thirds, blah, blah, blah. And Gabby's like, I did not expect, I thought, what was Iron Man like? What would, what's Robert Downey Jr. like? He's like, they got to those questions eventually, but the first several questions were actually based on technical stuff.
Really smart
And
technical
Gabby's
questions
like,
that you would ask a cinematographer. Yeah, that's
so
so
they actually
cool.
did some research on it, and I'm like, well, impressive little kids. But
Yippers.
and then at Grant High School,
Yeah, never
David
under- oh,
Guest
you went to
actually
Grant. Excellent.
runs that program, and her sister won the Filmmaker Award there. And then
That's one of the
But that
films I
was the one she
starred in.
couldn't-
I was a little girl named Alice.
you know how the Queen Mary's haunted?
Yeah.
we met her, the little girl. Like the elevator
Apparently,
went to
there's
the
2
wrong
of
thing.
them.
The one on the
two of
on the
them.
The one that drowned in the first class pool, and we got on the elevator, and it went down instead of up. We get out, and I'm filmed there a number of times, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're by the
Can
first
I say
class
something
pool.
I learned recently? Apparently, there's two.
There are
little girls-
several ghosts there. There's
Two
the guy
little
that's
girls
in
that
the.
drowned in that pool.
Oh, well, maybe she drowned the other one.
What?
But they have the lights and everything to simulate, and the door's locked. Well, that night they had a soundtrack. You could hear splashing and laughing
And giggling.
It was the freakiest thing ever. I'm like the hair on the back of your neck is standing up.
Yeah, that was scary.
And so we go back up, and the next day we're on the tour, and there's no freaking soundtrack. I'm like, where's the soundtrack?
I was
And
recording
he's
during
like,
that time.
Yeah, and it erased later.
I don't have that
And
footage.
I'm like,
I think
They
I
were
deleted
like, we don't
do
but
that.
I
There is
don't
no
think I
sound.
ever
Soundtrack. I'm like,
deleted
don't
it
fuck with me, man.
permanently.
We don't have
What are you
speakers.
talking about?
No.
And
So-
she's like, we met her. And her siblings are like, we're out of here.
Screw
So
this.
we went back.
AMFYOYO.
Yeah, AMFYOYO. So we went back.
Adios.
We shopped the night before lockdown. So it's like us and a wedding party and like, you know,
So you were on the
we were on the premiere the night before
like
lockdown.
March whatever 13th,
March 16th.
Yeah.
16th, 2020.
Yep.
2020.
Yep.
And because we'd filmed there so often, they let us go all over the ship. But we had it to where, like, it's a priest who basically is survivor's guilt because he lost his entire congregation. And she shows up, and she's like, "Hi, do you want to play with me?"
You lost them all. So sad.
And so
It
she
wasn't
brings
really
him
your
the
fault,
priest
you
collar
know.
kind of thing. And he's just like, "Play with me. If you say yes, I'll find what you've lost." And we're like, so she's so sweet and sing-song, and she's really, really creepy. And the song that she sings at the beginning of Once More Like Rain Man
It's actually a
is
reference
what
to
she
that.
wrote for that. But she disappears, and she comes back, and she hands him the collar. And he's like, "Where did you get this?" "Oh, you lost them all. So sad." And you're like...
It wasn't really your fault, you know.
But she throws the collar overboard, and you hear a splash, and you don't know whether or not he jumped or she pushed him. And you're
Or
like...
what happened to him. Because
Yeah,
sing him
so we're
after
just
that.
like, okay, you know what? She kind of scares me. But we're on the boat. There's like almost
There
nobody.
is something really frightening
Yeah.
about that voice.
Yes,
Right?
yes, it is.
Isn't it funny?
I love
The
doing voices. I love doing voice
The
acting.
cleaning lady, though, had to poke you.
Because I was dressed in the 1930s, and it was Martha, and she was talking about the ghost with the room with no name, and she's like, "I don't clean for that room anymore. He's an asshole."
And he's bored. Like, they tried to put payroll in that suite, B234, that you had to
And-
sign a waiver to be in.
Yeah.
And she's like, he would flush the toilet on you. He would, like, mess with the paperwork. And the accounting's like, "We will quit if you don't get us out of here because he's an asshole and he's bored." And I'm really tired of being
And there's a
screwed
ghost
with.
in the basement that's basically the equivalent of "get off my lawn."
So, but during the filming, there's two little lights that follow her every time
Just
that
me.
we're outside. Just
Me.
her.
No one else.
We
Just
credited
me.
him in the movie. Because we're
'Cause
like,
my mom's like, "I see you, you little."
I'm like, well, whoever they were fine with you. So just, but
Hey.
like, Marta stops talking mid-sentence, looking at Bella. She's like, finger poke. Okay, just checking. She's like,
Poke, poke.
like
Make sure that your
Ghostbusters.
finger doesn't go through.
Like Ghostbusters when, you know, they poke the old guy in the library. You're like, oops. And I was like, yeah, I can see how she
That's
would.
where more of my creative stuff, and I did like stuff with my friends during like lockdown, like because I could not go anywhere. You did not want to be the kid that was coughing because like I got I hack sometimes.
Well, with the respiratory infection.
It's embarrassing, but like it's not fun. I'll admit that, but like a thing when it comes to like that, like you did not want to be the kid coughing because you probably would have been more isolated.
Well, so they.
Being a creative does mean isolation sometimes, but like that's just sad
Well,
part of it.
so they took her out, so she couldn't go back to in-person at Grant because they're like,
I
you
went
can
to
only
5
go
high
outside.
schools.
And then they tried to put her in virtual high school, but they never let her in the system. Like the Grant High School was trying to call, we were trying to call, and they
There's
screwed
just a
up.
technical issue.
No.
They had
No.
her under her brother's name, who had graduated, was the portal. And there was no contact with these people at all. Like, they wouldn't answer the phone or pick up the phone.
I
She got
basically
a
had to
report
score-
card, though, that
And they
said...
basically lied,
She had a report card that said she was doing great.
and I was getting all
Wonderful
A's.
class
So
participation.
you
She was
weren't
getting
able to
A's,
participate in
and
class,
we
and
had
then you're
said
getting good
nothing.
grades for doing
And
nothing.
when we said
If she- if
when
hadn't
we said
shit,
something,
she
they
would have
ba-
graduated with honors.
But when I said something, they sent another report card saying I was failing and a delinquent.
Yeah, so we went to mediation, and they're like, "Oh no, she's fine." And we're like, "Okay, pull up the portal, baby." And so the lady from the district basically just altered the records to make it look like she was delinquent, and then they put her in another thing. And that teacher didn't know what an IEP was, or special education, and then blamed her for not being in class.
And
I'm like, it's not her fault that you committed fraud and lied, bitch.
And-
Like,
and
because
that's
the
And,
school
and
got
how does
paid.
someone working in the school not know
I'm
about
also
IEP
a
and
gifted,
stuff?
I'm
Right?
also a gifted kid. But also, this woman gleefully told me I was going to fail if I didn't complete both semesters. And that's the first time a teacher's actually made me cry. And I remember Dad just being very pissed at this woman.
So they put
Rightfully
her in
so.
another.
But the teacher I got after her was named Samuel Smith. God bless him. Honestly, honest to God, just wonderful man. I love.
But when they
that
had her
guy.
locked out of the system, we basically hired tutors, got the books, and so she actually completed the work
Yeah.
independently. But we had to transfer her to yet another school, a private school, in a virtual academy. West River Academy is for like neurodivergent, and it's actually truly international. There's like 18 countries in our graduating
That's where I
class.
met some of my friends, Emma and Nico, and some other people, and just it was great, and like Hudson as well.
But she was able to have her work evaluated,
And
which was cool.
just some stuff when it came to that, like it was honestly the best high school experience I had because I went to 5 high schools in 4 years.
So yeah, because the district did a
I was
pretty fair
exhausted.
job of
That's about as
screwing her
many
over.
as you can do. I mean,
Most people are horrified when I tell them that fact
It
that
is,
I went
it's-
to 5 high schools in 4 years.
Well, and think about what
And
they're doing to the
so
kids.
COVID
that,
was part
that
of it,
don't.
right? Like
yeah.
Lockdown
your
was part of
generation,
it.
you
Well,
getting
the-
stuck
yeah.
in high school
She
during
had
COVID.
half a freshman year.
Yeah.
And that was it.
ninth
Right. So
grade, that
you
was
were
when
you
I-
were a freshman
yeah.
at Grant when COVID hit.
No, she was a
I
freshman
not-
at
I
Holy
was-
Family.
I was at Holy Family.
Oh,
my
Holy Family.
She
my
was at private school.
siblings went to Grant. I
Oh,
technically went to
gotcha.
Grant online through 1 year.
Gotcha.
And then
But-
when they went back to in person, they wouldn't let them do virtual.
Right.
And they made
And I
that
can't
decision
wear a
2 weeks
mask.
before. So it was just a clusterfuck, really.
It was a
was
clusterfuck for
we
everyone.
ended up using
but
part
yeah.
of her settlement in order to pay for this film because I'm like, you got cheated out of like your junior senior
And
year of school.
I also got
They
cheated out of college.
out of being able to even apply for college because they held on to stuff and they violated like everything you could in the contract.
they also
Right, like
tried
it
to remove
screwed
my
with your
au- they
transcripts
also-
and
yes.
stuff?
Yeah, they held on to it.
They also tried to take away my autism diagnosis. And here's the thing about
Oh, on
me: I
paper
do not swear at teachers. I've been taught to respect my teachers, but I cuss them out more fucks than the actual film.
You were a virtuoso in the amount of fucks given in that IEP.
I actually I felt
I let her go
myself
on for a little while, and
physically
she said everything I
snap.
couldn't. But then again,
It
I'm
sounded
like,
like they deserved it. Though.
I know. Right? I'm like,
that
then
was
again, I'm like,
years of spite built up at that
Well,
time because
they
like I
kept
remember
talking around her.
they talked around me and to me, but not at me, but not to me.
like she's
Yeah.
sitting next to me. We're
I'm
on
like
the Zoom.
right there. I'm like I'm right here.
Like we're sitting like this, and they're talking to me and ignoring her when she's asking a question. She's like, "I'm sitting right here."
Yeah,
then
and
they're-
at that point, you've been through enough with
Enough.
them.
Because they
So-
the first time they left me for dead, they're like, oh, we could wait it out. It being an 11-year-old child.
Oh yeah.
That part just still fucks me up on how adults could leave an 11-year-old to die, and then like for later, the 16-year-old is the only adult in the room. How is that even fair to the 16-year-old child?
So she figured. I'm like, well, hey, well,
And-
you're underage. They
and-
can't make you sign an NDA.
And the only people that
And,
actually gave a shit were the people that were helping me in spite of these people. I was coping in spite of them. And
Yeah, they're like,
and
oh, you
I
did so well coping. She's
I
like-
was also just right. That's where more of my inner world just kind of just flourished. Like when I was developing more of my stories. That's when I like in 2022. That's how I came up with some of my characters, like Hugo, Spectre, or like. I had
So
Jesse
she-
Sky,
I was like,
Olivia
just
Wright,
be
Tommy
constructive with it.
Abel,
I'm like, the least
Lucius
way it's
Wick.
therapy.
Coming up with my worlds is kind
It's
of
very cathartic, though.
it's my catharsis.
Hence
It's
the whole
just-
psychological horror, probably.
Yeah, but
Only
I
And the
she's the
darkness.
mastermind,
but
right?
but also, just pops in my head right now that like one very common story with performers is often like in your case it was you were changing schools a lot for ridiculous reasons that you were beyond your control.
Yeah.
But like sometimes kids who get moved around a lot.
Well, that
Like
or
it really
feel
does
left
lead.
out.
It really you the being left out part and always being new. Yeah, you
don't
end
feel
up
like you
creating
belong.
more and writing more and
Because
just
most people in the entertainment industry
Yeah.
at some point we don't feel like you belong.
yeah.
You feel like
when it
you're
co-
out of touch or
I
whatever.
remember like
So
being
you find it
kinda,
weird.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
other people that are weird like you. If you find your people, you stick with it.
I remember like in middle school, I always
what
kind
we
of
told
felt
the
like
kids.
separated from the other kids. Like I started noticing it more because I never really noticed it when I was in elementary school.
And what did we tell you?
Because well, don't find you're weird.
Find your weird. Don't try to be normal.
But I noticed it more because I was being put in the special ed classes, and like there were like kids like lower on the spectrum, and some I could actually talk with. Look, does not matter if autism or not. There was just one kid that was just a spoiled brat. That was kind of a dick. Three of us.
not kind of.
No, he was a dick.
You know when your parents
there
used to
were
tell you,
three of
"Oh,
us
he
that
likes you if he
that
picks on
banded
you."
together in spite of this guy. Okay, his name was Michael.
Yes,
and
sworn
there was
enemies
me, Justin,
united
and I
over
think
him.
Kevin. The three of us banded together in spite of this dick because
But you guys hated each other, and you found common ground.
Justin and I didn't like each
A
other for
common
some reason.
enemy,
You found
yeah.
a common enemy.
Justin and I didn't like each other for some reason, and then we found each other, like, we had more in common than we thought, and then, like, you know what? We're banding together in spite of this guy because we don't
But
like
this
him.
this kid, autism aside, I'm like,
guy.
you know, the kid that evaluates everything based on how much money his parents make and what he's got and blah blah blah.
Because he
wants
was a
to be able
spoiled
to-
rich kid.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah, the
autism
movies
does
don't lie
not
about
mean
that
that you're
part.
not a douche. I'm
That's
like,
something I learned in high school. There was this complete prick in my high school, and one of my friends, I think, to spite me and fuck with me, made us all go to his house once and like to go do something. And then I met his parents. I'm like, oh, I understand how assholes exist. Assholes marry assholes, and they give birth to assholes. 'Cause this was like a pure asshole
I'm
family.
just like, okay, sorry, just because you're bullied by your asshole
That
parents
just
does
sounds
not
like
excuse
something
it.
Naya would say. My friend Naya would say
She
something like
met
that.
in the virtual academy, like students from all over the world. Her friend Naya is insane, and I love this kid because she's nuts. But she's in Russia. She lives in Russia. She's also got a twisted sense of
I have
humor.
my best friend Shan and my other best friend Litton. I would
Yes,
not
but they're in
trade them
Midland,
for.
Texas, and in Canada.
And yeah.
My husband's like, is she talking to the Canadian again?
The
She's
Canadian.
like, no, he's teasing her. He's like, but he's cute, right? He likes you. She's like, no, that's not.
She's my best friend, you frick.
And I'm like, Bella,
my
the
best
more
friend.
it annoys you, the more your father is
He's
going to poke
12.
at you. Yes, of course he's 12.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, that is one of the great things about parenting. It's embarrassing them,
trusting
right?
God,
Oh,
if
God,
I
yes,
didn't
that's the
have
best
them-
part. Didn't you notice that you started laughing a lot more after your kids again?
Honest to
I'm
God,
like-
if I didn't have them, I probably would not gotten through a lot of the shit that I've been through. But I have more friends now than I did, because lockdown was pretty isolating for an extrovert like me. I'm an extrovert with social anxiety. That is a horrific combo, okay? I didn't know I had social anxiety. I just thought the world was trying to force me into being an introvert.
It's great though when you have a topic to talk about or something that
Yes,
that you're
that
supposed
I can
to
ramble and hyperfixate on and just actually connect with people on. But when it's just normal, everyday stuff, I'm just
do. Like at the gala, she can't tune out ambient noise or anything.
Right.
So
think of a restaurant, right? Like you're trying to talk to maybe someone in your family or a friend, right? But everything around you is at equal volume, like the fridge or the ceiling fan or the stuff going on in the kitchen if that's nearby, or whatever
Even
that
shit
guy's
across
doing,
the
or
street,
even
practically.
shit that's going on outside.
all of it.
Yeah, no,
Equal volume.
I identify.
For some
yeah.
people, it's even worse, and that's actually why some autistic people constantly wear noise canceling headphones
Yeah, like
because
your
it
brother.
makes it easier to manage.
I bought her range headphones, like for a gun range that cancels
yeah,
out loud
yeah,
noises
yeah.
so you can
Sharpshooter.
focus. I'm like, yeah, because she had to learn how to shoot. She's a sharpshooter, 6-inch target at 90 yards.
I thought it was 100.
Oh yeah, it was 100. And she's like, well, you told me to hit it. But everybody is told to hit it. That doesn't mean it happens. I'm like, you've got a 90% accuracy rate. I'm like, you know what? When the zombie apocalypse comes, we're going to get up on the roof with a battery-powered blender for margaritas and just set her up, and we'll just take a shot every time she gets one. I'm like,
Perfect.
Zombie
You
apocalypse.
got a good
solved.
plan.
There you go. I'm like, you don't want to go through it sober.
No.
It's like with earthquakes. I'm like,
When
I'm
The
not going
Last
to
of
put
Us
bleach.
hits, when
I
Last
have
of Us
booze
hits
in
us,
our
or Red
earthquake
Dead
kit.
Redemption or something, or I don't
Well,
know.
like I said, you keep booze in the earthquake kit.
Yeah.
Important safety tip for California, because let's face it, if you're drinking water from the tank of your toilet, you don't want to do it sober. So you boil the water and you put a cup of vodka in there instead.
Agreed.
Much better.
Yeah, then I know how to run away
Although
from a horror movie
she
killer.
has
so.
never let me live down the fact that during COVID, I'm like, everybody's day drinking. And I'm like, so I had whiskey in my soda and she came to try to steal my soda.
It was just one sip.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
How'd it
Puts
taste?
whiskey in
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Whiskey Coke is
Whiskey
that's a
and
very
Coke.
common drink, but
It's my reason
because
I will never drink alcohol.
spit it
especially
back
when
in.
we're in college and we can't afford good whiskey, so
Exactly,
so
you
you got to
have
add
to
the
hide it.
sugar to cover up the. It's
Trust
funny when
me.
you get
don't
older,
like-
you're
I
like,
don't
oh,
like
there's
it. I
actually
don't
good
understand.
Yeah, 'cause-
stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
now
I
that
don't
you could
understand how
afford it.
people get addicted to alcohol to begin with.
She spit it back in my drink.
Because I choked on it.
And I was like, that's okay, I drank it anyway.
Yeah, you can't let it. You couldn't go. Yeah, let it. Don't let it
What was
away.
I supposed to do?
Well, I'm glad you didn't spit on the floor or on me. There's that.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't on the
Oh
floor.
my
You would have been mad.
No, of the
I
options
would've
you
made you
had, I
clean
think
it
you
up.
chose well.
That's more
like, I wouldn't have been mad. I would have made you clean it up. That's all.
It's getting even.
Exactly. Just like the Nerf birthday party.
Oh yeah, I almost
Her
forgot
brother
about that.
shot me with a
In the
Nerf gun
ass.
in the ass. So I didn't get mad. I'm like, but I did grab one of the Nerf guns. I'm like, oh, mine's broken because I didn't cock it. And so
the
he
other
comes
moms
up and
were
he
like,
stands
"Aren't you
in front of
gonna
me.
get
And
mad
these
at
other
him?"
moms are like, why aren't you mad? And Alex comes up, he's standing in front of me, and you have to cock it first. Kunk, kunk, and I'm like, kunk, ha, ha, ha. And so, I get it now. So I'm chasing him around the yard, shooting him in the ass.
It was
basically with a Nerf
awesome.
gun. And these other moms are like calling their kids over. Hey, let me see your gun. The parents got worse than the kids.
Yeah.
Like the
why
parents'
not?
musical chairs was cutthroat.
Yeah, you start to realize like we
That we
pretend
are
to be
not
grown-ups,
mature
but
at all.
No.
yeah, I don't
We
think
regress
anyone
very quickly.
really ever grows up.
Not if you can help it. Not in
Not in this
that's
world.
that's when you stop living.
That's a misconception I had as a young kid because I thought all teenagers were mean.
Well, they kind of are hormones.
Well, I didn't know that. I just thought all teenagers were mean, and like I remember.
I mean,
when
they
I was
think they know everything.
I
Oh,
remember
God,
when
yes.
I was 13. Like
I
I
thanked my
remember-
parents for not smothering
I
me in my
remember being
sleep.
scared of actually becoming 13 because I didn't want to be mean. I didn't want to become
Right,
like,
you didn't wanna
what-
be like
I
that.
didn't want to become like what people like other kids were
Well,
saying.
your
like
sister was
all
cranky
kids,
for a while,
all
too.
like teenagers were mean and that they didn't care about anything but themselves and were
Well,
selfish.
and they know
And-
everything.
and that they know everything. And I wasn't like that. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. That doesn't sound fun.
After I had kids, my parents became brilliant.
but like.
Right?
I
like,
remember when I
knew
was,
everything, but they were so dumb beforehand.
when I
And
went
now
to-
I'm like, oh my God, thank you for not killing us all. Because you are badasses. I can't believe that we survived.
That's my
The
favorite.
70s.
My favorite old saying is the reason why grandparents and grandkids get along so well is they have a common enemy.
Oh, yeah.
I remember
I'm
when
like, I don't know. How, like my brother was allowed to buy something for his lawn mowing money. He'd come home with 2 6-foot iguanas. What? Yeah.
A 6-foot
2
iguana.
6-foot iguanas, one on each shoulder. It's like the Pied Piper.
That's huge.
Michael, my brother Mike.
Iguanas.
The same one that
You didn't tell
gardens
me
with
this one.
dynamite.
Darwin was wrong.
Darwin was wrong.
All right, so wait.
Okay.
So high school,
Yeah.
and then you. I heard a reference of something that Once More Like Rain Man was semi-related to
God, it was
like
based on
missing out on
auditions.
high school
It was
and
actually
such.
based
Yeah.
off a lot of my auditions, like actually.
Well, that's clear, yeah.
But also
people
stuff
like they
I've
didn't
but,
actually,
but from out, yeah.
but stuff I've also actually like just heard from like other friends and people.
Right, because you're good friends
Like,
with a lot of actors.
Although they're
Like-
like, can you be a little more autistic? Can you be a little less asshole? I'm like, you didn't.
Some of my
She's
best
like, I
friend
didn't say
Shan,
it, I
she's
thought
also autistic. Like my friend Shan, my friend Annie. I got like some friends who are just also autistic or like ADHD, and just like I know I've heard some of the things that they've told me, and I'm like, what the actual
Fresh weed hell.
what in the fresh weep hell is this? Huh? What do you mean?
She makes up her own phrases, which eventually I figure out. And then when I said I yeeted something, she's like, what the hell?
drop kick.
Boom.
Officer, I drop kicked that child in
Self-defense.
Quoting Technoblade. Right there. I love Technoblade. Okay, I like
From Minecraft. I guess.
I love Technoblade.
I had to learn because I was sadly lacking in my education on that.
My nephews were so into it.
But she covered a
I didn't
song
have
that
to
was
learn
based on that.
I love,
Which is cool.
Yeah, I do songs.
And I'm like, great, Bella, you just covered
the
a song
song
that's
that
like,
I did in the
woe to
film
the
is
people of
actually what
order
I
where you go
wrote.
scorched earth on everybody. And I'm like, I'm going to be spoken to by adults.
And
I don't
need
want to
an
be spoken to by adults.
do you need an adultier adult?
I don't know any of them.
Clearly.
I don't know any of those. It sounds like it would be really boring.
That sounds like it would be depressing.
When we talked about normal, she's like, normal sounds like it would probably be really boring.
what,
And
in
I'm
the
like,
demented
well,
hellscape?
Normal is pretty boring, right?
Yeah, we
There's
have
good,
the
Like-
crazy,
entire,
bad, crazy, and I don't want to deal with that kind of
crazy.
crazy fools.
we have the entire spectrum in our house, and nobody is sane, and we're just kind of roll with it. So
and my
like when
friends are
lockdowns hit,
insane.
we were already a little
And
off.
you turn it into art,
Well,
right?
we practice
kinda-
voices. We got to screw with scammers. I'm like,
Murphy's Macho, you stab him, we slap him, how may I help you,
Murphy's macho.
darling?
You stab him, we slab him. How can I help you?
I love doing impressions, honestly.
You were a girl trapped in a trunk being kidnapped, and the guy's wife was going to call
Well, that
911.
was because I used this voice.
But she was chasing somebody with a
my
knife.
Blanca voice. That's
And I'm
just
like, the thing
Blanca.
was, it's like, but these scammers, they call back.
Yay!
I don't feel bad.
Doing
They're trying
little
to
kid
like
voices are
rob
just
somebody.
really fun.
Especially when
Especially
you're
when
evil
you
with
get
that
to freak
voice, which
people
is
out.
really disturbing. Because the laugh at the beginning of Once More Like Rain Man, she wasn't mic'd for that. She did not rehearse it like that at all. The
Giggle.
whole broken clockwork doll. Sue Ann walks up, says something to her.
Because she said my hair was creepy when it fell in front of my face.
Walks away.
And I'll tell you the inspirations for that. Was actually Little Nightmares, Murder
Creepy.
Jones,
Don't ever watch that at
Sin,
night.
Sin from Murder Jones and Corona, specifically his introduction in Soul Eater. I forget which episode it is, but it's specifically that introduction to the cathedral and just the way he
Shouldn't know.
talks and just the way he moves, just so creepy. And Sin, like, Sin speaks in this kind of robotic kind of voice.
Little kid voice.
Very little kid.
So she has no
You
self-control.
will
and-
not have to discard your pets, and I will not discard you. Best stay away from the gala, though. You seem squeamish.
And she's a psychopathic murderer, of course.
Yeah, she's terrifying.
She's freaking terrifying.
I can do a pretty
But
decent Sin
Bella
impression.
suddenly breaks down into this clockwork doll, and the entire crew went,
And then Darren took a video and sent it to his kids like, good luck sleeping tonight.
I mean, like, Joe forgot it was his line because
He forgot to
when she was
clap.
laughing, he forgot to clap. He was like, oh, shit, that's me.
Oh.
Okay. It's like, okay, she could do that again. I'm like, please don't
Yes.
ever do it again. I'm like,
Yes.
you know what? You
And,
freaked
and,
everybody else.
and you said Joe. You mean Joe
Yeah, Joe-
Montaigne.
Joe Montaigne.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean Joe
at some
Montaigne.
point,
I
I'm going to have to,
forget clap. 'Cause
we had
right,
to lighten
right.
it.
At some point, well, so no, I'll just use this as my
Well,
as my
that was actually the
entree.
last scene
is-
recorded.
is-
Everybody was unemployed.
Is
We were all unemployed.
oh, so it was.
we
so-
filled out
so
all
the
of the
lockdown
paperwork
and all-
for our
and
DGA
lockdown/strike
during the
helped.
strike.
Yippers.
Right.
It's October
so-
23, so we went, we're
But still, from
striking
Glory and
earlier.
Injustice to Once More Like Rain Man, I mean,
Glory is not
the
autistic.
level of the production is just.
Well, everybody was unemployed, so we
Yeah.
basically hit up our crews from All American, my previous crew from like Agents of Shield, Sue Ann, PN hit up. We had As We See It, atypical.
In other words,
everybody.
When I'm going to make assumptions that you are well liked and appreciated
Thank
by
God.
people you've
Oh,
worked
thank
with.
you.
Either that or it's just I know where enough
right,
bodies
'cause
are
some
buried.
people can turn to the people they work with and go,
Yeah.
"Hey, I want to do something on my own here,"
Yeah.
and then like, "Yeah, have
we
fun."
called it. It was
Listen,
great.
if
and,
anyone
like,
ever
the
calls me
vendors,
if they wanted to do a video game and have me voice acting it, please.
It
just
was great.
hit me
Like
up,
every
please.
vendor,
or
every
voice,
the
voiceover
location.
for
We used the
animation,
Palace
please.
Theater. We used the Palace Theater in
Fetching.
downtown LA, and basically for nothing.
yeah,
For 4 days we shot. And
Yeah.
but we did clean it up afterwards and before.
And we
But I
made
mean-
it nicer than we left it.
And the owner
besides the
and
cast,
his band
besides
are in
the
back.
cinematography, like you're saying, the
Well,
locations.
we stuck
that-
them all in the
mean-
in the back. So she actually showed up to visit one day, and she is in the background. The owner of the
really? Didn't
theater
know.
is an extra. Tracy Reiner came out to hang out, and she and I
Body
are
check
together. She's
Matt.
like, "We look like a couple of old drag queens," and I'm like, "That's fine." I'm like,
She
"But we're
body
good."
checked Matt.
And Sue Ann had told her to body check Matt as they're coming, we're crossing. And Tracy is a very good actress, and she's going to take you literally. She took
Autism.
to him like because she's kind of on the spectrum. She checked him like a freaking Green Bay Packer.
I thought he was a hockey player.
So the next time on the next take, he sees Tracy coming at him, and he grabs Bella and shoves her in front of him. Like, take her. But I'm like, it's the first time that Matt Jones had ever played anything other. He's like, well, I don't go get shot. I don't go to jail because in Breaking Bad, you know, he's
Yeah.
He gets to be a good dad, and he was so happy about
does. He
being
was
a good
Badger.
dad.
and Kristen.
The cool thing is,
Kristen Hager plays his wife, and she's his wife.
His actual real life wife.
oh, that's
And she
super
just
I think
had
that's
a-
kind
cool.
of funny.
We're like, how'd that come? Because in the movie, they're not nice to each other. But
I
in
suppose,
life,
yeah, I'm thinking of the phone
such a sweet-
call, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he has the skull and crossbones as her color ID. Cutthroat
Which is
bitch.
a nice touch.
I'm like, but
Isn't in the feature script?
and he's the
her
only one that
friend is
actually
called
talked her into that
Psycho Bitch?
tomato costume. Because when that thing came, she was like, no, fuck no.
No.
I don't think so.
I got to yeet it down the staircase afterwards.
Yeah, you threw it down 6 flights of stairs.
There was only 2.
Oh, stop whining.
Wait, Bella, did you just mention a feature version?
Yes.
Okay, so now I know that there's a feature version.
And we are hitting up everybody that was
And,
in
and,
the
and
short.
you and you all shot the short as a proof of concept?
Yeah, well, because
Technically,
40% of the cast and crew is either neurodivergent or living with another disability.
It was technically my senior thesis.
And so there's like an
Technically speaking.
85% unemployment rate among autistic adults. And a lot of times, I mean, production companies can't necessarily afford to take the risk because they don't know. They think it's going to be expensive or it's going to be difficult or whatever.
If I could like insert a clip of like
And,
somebody crashing like down a flight of stairs at that piece of information, because that's what my mind did the first time I heard about that. I'm like, what do you mean it's almost 90%?
So we kind of set out to have more representation, but it was like behind the camera, in front of the camera.
And we ended early every day.
Yeah.
And everyone could
Earlier
be chill.
days, everybody was able to take breaks. Nobody yelled.
And we ended up
And it was
accidentally breaking
relaxed.
Hollywood.
You're just broken, sweetie. It's okay. But Matt was like, I can take a break?
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't need to break your back over
okay.
this.
Yeah, because she's like, why do you guys work these like insane, hour push. And we're like, well, that's, how I, she's like, well, that sounds kind of stupid.
Don't want you to drop
She's
dead.
like,
I like you.
I don't want you to drop dead. Oh, she's like, why are we killing ourselves on this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
Because they've always
because
been
we
doing
do,
it that way.
Because that's how we do it.
And it doesn't make sense.
And even though it's dumb, that's like the first day that she wanted a break, they're like, okay, we've got like a 20-minute camera set up. Is that long enough? Because if we push through, we'll be done. Like in an hour, we'll go home early. Or do you want the break? And the first day, she's like, fuck that, but push through. But the last day was the one with the asylum scenes, which was really, taxing on her. And so she's like, no, I need a little bit longer than that. I'm going to go lay on this nasty, dirty, stained mattress, which was brand new, but we dirtied it up. She's like, I'm going to go just lay down for a few minutes.
I'm just going to sit here.
But we had, people like Alex Plank had his service dog with him.
And he was under the table. Max was a good boy.
Yes.
And he greeted everybody.
We had cast that had crutches. We had Danielle Perez. She's in a wheelchair. You don't see her chair. She's like, I always play like the brave one or the pathetic one or a vet. And Bella's like, a vet? How do you get the dog up there to examine? And she's like, what? Not veterinarian? Vet. Like, war vet. She's like, but I like where you went with that. But she's like, you always see my chair first in anything that I do.
Yeah.
Except
You don't see her
mine.
chair. She's like, they focus
so
on the chair and then they
great.
pull back. She's like, well, and to be fair, we didn't show anybody else's chair.
Exactly.
Although her first claim to fame, she won a treadmill on The Price is Right.
She doesn't have any feet.
She doesn't have feet. I'm like, oh my God. I said, what did you think waiting for the producers to realize that one? She's like, that was my main goal, my main motivation for becoming a comedy writer. And I'm like, well, right what you... Absolutely.
That is life
Chaos.
writing it for you. Yeah.
Oh God. So, and then like Tal Anderson.
Yeah,
she
Tal,
designed
who is a
amazing.
yeah.
And she actually cut like 6 trailers. So I will share them with you because she did different themes. Like one
Tal's
is
a
Halloween.
great editor,
You think it's
yeah.
going to be The Fucking Shining. It's creepy. And she did one that's like Terms of Endearment where you're going to weep because we're like, just have fun with it. Well, like, you're autistic. We want your point of view. Don't feel like you're going to like blow the story or anything. Just be you.
Yippee.
And that's how we kind of ended up with everybody because we just started making phone calls. And almost everybody had a connection, so everybody did it for the same price. We all did it for $100 a day, and we paid fringes and everything for that because we did all the paperwork, so we were above board. And like the DP,
Above
the
board.
PA, everybody got paid the same.
And you treated people with respect.
And we treated
and
people
you
with
didn't-
respect. And we
didn't
had
burn
earlier
people out.
days.
Yeah, you did
Because
shorter
we're like, if you're
days.
doing
Yeah.
this for that,
And I got to
then-
yap about my personal stuff to like everyone when we did have downtime, like and just like
But we actually
we
had
also
some.
had like a personal a plastic rat as our mascot. We called him Camera Rat. And
It was a
Cameron got to
prop
keep
from
him,
when
or
Alex
Cam
did,
Cam. We called him Cam Cam for short. Our
we
boom
donated
mic
them to the
guy-
camera department.
Our boom mic guy was named Kevin. He was buff as hell, like buff. Like you think of a bodybuilder guy, buff.
Yes.
He just buff.
We were rid of the second AD. Actually, most of our department heads were women.
But
Ironically.
but what's funny is that I wish that got on camera.
That rat is on every behind the scenes thing because he is attached to the
Good
tripod
luck
of the
finding
camera.
him.
So we're like, just keep him.
But what's
At least
funny,
he wasn't. No, at the Palace Theater, I had a rat the size of a freaking cat charge at me, and I had to jump over him.
It's like he had to go
He
somewhere.
was on a mission, man. And it's like, my cops in my transpo department are laughing at me. I'm like, that's enough out of you. I'm like, and then the one that chased our art director. We're like, just
With the
throw the burrito over your shoulder.
It was on Infiltrators.
Yeah, save yourself. Because he was chasing her down the hall.
At least it wasn't like American Horror Story,
There you go.
where you tripped upstairs.
You know what? Do you have to keep bringing that up?
Because it's funny.
To you. I am not graceful. I tripped on stairs and I fell 5 stairs higher than when I started in front of everybody. So I actually had to take a bow because I got all
So
these...
you overcame the laws of physics
Yes.
and gravity, which I think that's impressive. I'd
And
be
they all
proud.
wanted, and I took a bow.
Mother.
And then it was so hot, though, because I had like a 20-pound bag of ice, because it was so hot we were volunteering to do it. And I'm like, do you want this fucking ice or not?
What about the nun story?
Yes, never mind.
The
And,
nun.
and then on...
I swear, if this got on footage,
The
you would
part
have
where she
put
keeps
it in.
coming out in the montage to scream fuck or a number. There were 2 nuns walking up Broadway. I swear to God, it was like slow motion, like the freaking
You forgot
Terminator.
which one I was going to say.
We did not know which you were going to say when you came out because Katrina had gone back and our first AD had changed the scene. So we're like, she's going to pop out of this door and she's going to scream at them.
Scream fuck at a
Oh, she's going to scream fuck at a couple of nuns. And she
But isn't
does. It was 14.
That's a wonderful fuck.
It was 14. It was a different F word.
Oh.
But
still.
I'm like, downtown, I'm sure they've heard it all,
reaction was
but
the
still, the
same.
crew was just like, we were all holding our breath like, oh my God, she's going to freaking scream fuck.
I was horrified.
But she was still horrified for screaming at them. I'm like, it would have been better if you'd said fuck, though, because you'd gone to Catholic school. So, and nuns have eyes in the back of their heads.
Yeah.
Like, they did catechism with St. Charles, and her sister was in charge of the children's mass ushers. And
No
it took
one
5 times the
was a
amount of songs
cheapskate.
to get through the collection because she would give a pep talk about Go Team God in the back. Autism, literal. You're supposed to collect. It was more of a kind of a shakedown, I think, than it was a collection because I was like,
It was not optional.
no, she stopped. She would have them all stopping. Like she's like, and then she eyeballing. I put my dollar in, and she had all of them doing it. I'm like, I went to the Monsignor Gallagher. I'm like, has the collection gone up for the children's mass? He's like, yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm like, yeah, because your congregation's being shaken down by a bunch of 9-year-olds.
Determined 9-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm like,
9-year-olds are ruthless.
I'm like, she took you literally. She's autistic. She took you literally.
She could become a movie
She
financier.
was either going to be
Not
she was
taking
either
no
gonna be
for an answer
president
is-
or a
That's
crime
just how
boss.
she is.
She earned the nickname Napoleon. Don't call her short though, because she will kill
General
you.
Patton.
And this one is the only one that will go toe to toe with her. So she earned the nickname General Patton. So the autism therapy company that worked with them, they're like, she would rather lose the battle and win the war because she saw her siblings getting therapy.
And I wanted.
She just
and
didn't want to do anything with it.
Little me decided I wanted nothing to do with it.
You just decided you were going to win
Against them, apparently.
against, yeah. So like, oh, do you want this doll? Yeah. Okay, well then do this. No. Well, don't you want the doll?
Not
No, not anymore.
Yeah, not if there's strings attached.
Yeah, not if you're gonna have conditions. I'm like, but she would not budge, and I'm like, okay, well,
Smart 2-year-old, I guess.
I'm like autistic, not stupid. I'm like,
The smart 2-year-old.
not my fault that you're getting outsmarted by a 3-year-old. That should be kind of embarrassing.
It's actually kind of sad that you're getting outsmarted by a 2-3-year-old.
Yes, but with your siblings, I'm like, just talk about being beaten into submission.
But then again, I can understand how
May
they
you
got
have children like
outsmarted by the
you.
children.
Do you remember that curse?
Hi.
My parents thought it was funny.
And?
I'll think it's funny one day. Eventually.
Bruh.
My dad, I get along with my dad now, though. I turned into him over COVID. Like
Yeah, we
muttering to
learned
myself with power
avoid
tunes.
you. We learned to avoid you.
Well, only when we
Power
had the cleaning
tools.
fairy. She was really bad tempered. She swore a lot. She was in the middle of the night with power tools. No, just don't piss her off. I'm like,
Yeah.
because I fixed shit. I learned how to do home improvement because I didn't want to die when I was younger.
It was crazy.
And you had to fix stuff before your parents got home and discovered what you'd
shit.
done. Like we disemboweled the lawnmower and turned it into a go-kart, came through the ceiling playing tag in the attic. This is why I'm like, I thanked my mother for not killing us because we did so many stupid things that I'm like, how are we not dead? You did what? My brother had a python that was sleeping in between his mattresses. She went to clean, flipped the mattress, and it sat up and hissed at her. She threw the mattress down and called him home from school to kill him. He's like, I thought somebody died. I didn't know it was going to be me. But that's the same brother that if it wasn't bad luck, he wouldn't have any because
Uncle
Darwin
Mike.
was wrong.
Uncle Mike.
When you're the menace of the neighborhood living between a drug dealer and a hooker, there's something to be said.
Or garden with dynamite.
And when there's a python hidden in your bed.
Or
That's,
the two 6-foot iguanas on his shoulders, or the screech owl that he
Or
recognized.
garden with dynamite.
Gardening with dynamite
And
and
Dad
Hawaii.
wondering when the volcano
So like
erupted.
like
Where's
the
your
dark
brother?
version of Dr. Dolittle, basically. Like
Yeah.
like just
Well, no, he would
nothing
take
cute
care
and
of them.
furry.
He would take care of them, but the
Yeah.
snake cage broke during a storm, and there was like 20 of them. They used to send me in to feed them when I was like 2 or 3 until I set the mice free, like 100 of them. Because I thought they needed exercise first. I wasn't like morally opposed, but I wanted they should have some time to enjoy themselves before they
you
became
basically-
the last meal. And my mom's opened the door. She's like, it was like Ben. I was covered. And I'm like, God, my parents really went through a lot.
Yeah.
Chaos.
I was like, and
And
then
I'm a
you
kid.
guys came around and your brother went through the skylight of our building. And of course, like you could hear her sister, what the hell's the matter with you? I'm like, well, I guess he's
really
okay.
Is like Lucy. She really is like Lucy from Peanuts.
So we just kind of put all of it into the screenplays because
Put
we're
all
like,
into the
well,
screenplays.
nobody will ever believe that shit.
Well, I've just seen so many insane things that like some people just would not believe that it's real, but unfortunately, reality is often
But,
more
no, I will say,
fiction
Rain
than
Man
Right.
was
fiction.
So when you're
Rain Man
writing a
was the,
screenplay, you're like, okay, I'm going to tone down my reality a little so that
Oh no,
so
not
that
people
really.
believe it.
Not anymore.
I just show it
you just go for it.
because people will be like, oh yeah, that's not real. Sure.
because the thing about when it comes to storytelling is that relatability is the best thing that you can have for a story. That's what I think some
Well, everybody
movies,
has weird
Yeah.
or crazy stuff that
That's
happens
what
in their lives.
some
You're like, nobody's
movies
gonna
right
believe
now
this.
seem to be missing the mark on, especially like I guess this is why me personally I tend to lean towards more animated media. I don't know. I think it's because like when I see real life, I guess I tend to
Your
be
brain
more
tries to
harsh.
plug it all in.
Yeah.
And if it's got the uncanny valley, then it hurts.
But when it's animated, I'm just like, I guess I can accept stuff a bit better. Because I don't like sitcoms.
Well-
I never watched Disney or like Nickelodeon sitcoms. Because, listen, the laugh track used to creep me out because I'm like, that's dead people laughing right there.
I know. And I'm like, thank you for explaining it to me in that manner, so now I can be creeped out.
Because
I had
it just
never-
sounds the same to me, okay?
It
It
is.
just sounds the exact same, and it freaks me out.
But I had never thought of it that way until she pointed it out, and I'm like, and now I can't unhear
Yeah,
it.
because that recording was made so long.
Go.
It's like it made in the 50s or something, okay?
But, like, for
and
example-
whenever I saw that, I'm like, my autistic brain's like, people don't act like that. Why do they act like that? I can't act like that, like, cause
the head waggle thing.
yeah, I hate that. It's a
Yeah.
pet peeve of mine. I do not write that in my own stuff unless you want somebody to be punched, I guess. But
Very
that-
punchable face.
punchable face guy.
That's what you have.
Very punchable face.
Although,
I guess that's why I don't get mad at me. I just did. The only reason I watched Phineas and Ferb was because of Dr.
We watched
Doofenshmirtz
Phineas and
Dr.
Ferb.
Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus. I did not watch it for the main quote unquote plot of the show. I just did
we
like
watched
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb, and she had to watch it by default.
because
and
of
Kim
Kenny
Possible.
and Alex.
You were.
I didn't like
she
it.
was Rufus the naked mole rat
I
for
wanted Candace
first
to
Halloween.
bust them because I'm like, they need to have consequence. If I did something like that, I would get in big trouble.
I would be dead.
I mean, I'm not
But-
that you need me to
but
say it, but
I
like,
was-
but like
it was- it was
animation
kid-
is
yeah.
wonderful. Like
Yeah. 'Cause
you
animation
can do
is almost always,
anything.
and
I
also
guess
like
kid
because it's
logic-
so
Once they-
demanding to make,
once
they
they moved
always make
away.
the scripts great.
Yeah. Once they moved away from the creepy zombie
what I mean?
kids, like with Toy Story with the kid at first, because I'm like, that was creepy zombie kid.
I guess that's like my mind just kind of went there, like, because autism and just thinking kid logic and like that kind of logic kind of thing. Like,
Well,
if
thank
I
you
did
for
that,
not recreating
then-
Wile E. Coyote.
then I would be in trouble. So why aren't they getting in trouble? Like that kind
She
of
was
thing.
very
I guess
outraged by it.
That's why I wanted Candace to bust them so badly, and I felt like kind of catharsis when she actually got
Yes.
to that one time. Like,
This
finally.
This is the same person that the first time that we showed them Thriller, she was, oh my God, Daddy, are the zombies going to eat her brain? No, they're going to break out into spontaneous synchronized dancing.
Oh God.
And she was like, what? And then they did, and she was what's wrong? Make the zombies don't dance. Make them stop. What's wrong with you?
I was only upset because my dad was right.
Because
not because it was good, just because I didn't want
because
Dad
we
to be
lie
right.
about half the time to
80%.
the kids. Well, not about the
Right.
important things, but just we're just checking to see if they're paying attention. So they have to check. I'm like to see whether or not we're lying. They're like, stop! You're lying. I'm like, of course I'm lying. I lie to everybody. What makes you so special?
True.
Like, but it does check to see whether or not A, they're listening, and B, whether or not they're
And I do listen.
like, it's not my fault that you're not listening. But with them, you can't tell if they're not looking at you. It doesn't matter. Don't assume that they're not paying attention because she hears every freaking word that she says.
Because I was drawing once and they were like in a meeting and about this one guy nully screwing them over and
well, he
I was
also
just drawing
did
something.
a self-dentist thing, which is insane.
And like,
Too much cocaine.
Steve was making a comment about him. I'm like, yeah, this nully guy's an asshole.
Because he's a douche.
Yeah,
and we're
'cause
like,
he's a douche.
everybody stops, turns around, looks at her. He's like, I'm never going to assume you're not listening. And I'm like, you would do well to remember that.
I play a lot of games.
But
I listen quite well.
With Rain Man, all the stereotype is Rain Man.
Yeah.
Because we went one way and then we just didn't go beyond it, which is why she's like, girls can't get it. It's not VD. What the hell's wrong with you? Confusion. So, but that was the first step. I mean, it actually created the entire industry of services for autism.
It's actually kind of why, for some autistic representation that I have seen, it's actually kind of hard for me to watch personally.
But that movie
it's
was
a reason
groundbreaking.
why
Due to
it's actually a reason why I couldn't fully watch As We See It, even though Sue-Ann was in it. It's
Because it was
because
painful
I
for you.
live that reality, because I live with 2 autistic siblings.
And she tries to protect them.
And I look out for them. I love them.
And they do the same for her. I mean, sometimes it ends up being a Mexican standoff or some sort of,
Yes.
because all of them are trying to protect each other at the same time, but not wanting to protect each other at the same time, not wanting the other one to protect them.
right,
just
and you don't want them to protect you. You want to protect them.
Yes.
And it's
And it
going in a
becomes
three-way
monkeys throwing shit at the
zoo.
shit fight at the
Monkey
zoo.
shit fight at the zoo.
Monkey shit fight at the
Because Alex will do the opposite. Kennedy will order him to comply, and Bella will try to intervene, and it just goes downhill from there.
But I get it because when you're
Because
when
I guess
'Cause you hurt
sometimes
for
when
them.
I'm overthinking,
Yeah.
overthinking central, my mind just defaults to most people don't really accept us, and just my mind just defaults to
Well,
that.
when your brother's
And,
acting a certain way and people are giving looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I remember noticing that more when we were just at Universal Studios and just kind of being very anxious about it. I was just putting them over me because I didn't want them to not have a good time, but I wanted to try having a good time, but I didn't want people to
But
stare
you're
at
too
us.
paranoid to have a good time.
Yeah, I was too. I was just being. I think my anxiety was over the roof because I didn't want people to think we were weird because I'm already conscious about that sometimes. I don't mind being weird. I'm fine when it's just with people I know, but if it's just me left alone, my overthinking brain just goes over the roof. But I think overthinking is just a sign of high IQ at times. I don't know.
No, it's not.
I wouldn't
Just
disagree.
kidding.
Yeah, because honestly,
Yeah.
I have a hard time with it, and I'm super smart. No, but,
I obsess.
but actually, it's funny.
I know, my
I
husband's
throw
like,
an
well,
AirPod in
your
just to
mom's
listen to a
technically a
podcast, so I
genius.
stop thinking because if I need to listen to something and then I'm
Well,
not,
the problem
then I
with
can
me is
turn it off.
too, when people are intentionally stupid, the more they hit that button, the more condescending and sarcastic I tend to be.
Pretty much.
Unfortunately, and that
It's
is
really
where
hard
she
to
gets
stomach
it.
stupid, isn't it?
Oh God,
It's
yes,
so
especially when it's
hard.
intentional, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're going out of your
Sickeningly
way.
sweet.
And yeah, oh bless your heart.
I'll
I'm like-
drop kick your ass into the void.
That's why when she's like,
later.
if she asks me to count those, I'll kick her ass. I'm like, oh God. But at least with the questions, as offensive a lot of them are on the surface. I'm like, Bella, they don't know. They've
They
seen this one
genuinely
example.
don't.
They genuinely don't know. Assume that they're trying to learn, and they're never going to learn unless you tell them. Don't you
Right,
don't have
and
to
you
hold
can
back.
and you can teach them, and
you can teach them, and
you can make the world a little better by.
And I'm like, and treat them as if it's in earnest because
'cause-
they're not trying to
yeah.
be assholes. They're just misinformed, and it's something where
I honestly believe in treating others the way you want to be treated. So even if I'm like,
And if they're being a condescending asshole, if you actually treat it as if they're in earnest, it works out better for you anyway.
because they're confused.
Because, yeah, it really confuses the hell out of them. And I, unfortunately, am horrible enough of a person to where I will fuck with somebody that way. Just because I'm like, sorry, you hit my asshole button.
When it comes to like just like how I like just talk with people in general, like sure, like I can be a bit like social anxiety sucks at times, but I still do genuinely like talking to people because I'm an extrovert. I'm a social butterfly. I actually do like being around people. It's just sometimes it just feels draining as hell being around some people, especially like if it's just in too large of quantities or like
Too large of quantities are people that are like just suck the energy out of the air.
yeah, that.
Yeah, those energy
Or
vampires.
like,
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of a reason I don't really like going to parties as much. I used to, but like as like I've gotten older, like parties have just not.
They stay next to me because I'm a woman over 50, postmenopausal, and I dilligaf. Do I look like I give a fuck?
But
So,
also,
I know.
and I tend to scare people.
but also
I don't know
just
why.
because of the locations some parties tend to be
Well, it's
in
echoey.
are just
Great acoustics.
Yeah, they're
bounce-
noisy.
Noise
Great
bounces
acoustics.
off the walls.
I'm with
but
you.
comes
I
back at
love
me with
8 people or fewer in a room
Yeah.
is my ideal.
You know, like the noise example I gave earlier, like with the restaurant and trying to focus on stuff but equal volume kind of thing, like where you can hear everything at equal volume. It's worse with good acoustics because it.
Oh, yeah.
It's
because it's supposed to bounce it
good
back.
location, it bounces back.
Although she
and
hears
gets
what she wants
louder
to hear
and louder.
from across the house. Because we were playing Cards Against Humanity, the Disney version, and there's some pretty disturbing things in there. And on the other side of the
talk
room,
about an oxymoron.
I know, right? It's a very disturbing version of Disney. You can't really unsee half of that in your head.
Yeah.
And from across the house, 2 rooms away, she's like, Snow White did what? And I'm like,
I was just vibing and drawing or something, and then I just hear that. I'm like, what the?
I don't even remember what the hell Snow White did. I just know it was emotionally scarring. But
You scarred me. Why do you
But
think
we
it's
started
such a big-
making up our own answers. So, we start scratching out stuff and writing, no, this one's better. Like,
You're sick. You know that.
oh, yeah. And
Okay, you finally got me back.
There you go.
something to look forward to.
Frick.
All right, so this is the leading question, but I think I have an idea from emails with Melissa, which is, so you, right, Once More Like Rayman was in a Oscar qualifying festival and stuff? Like, what, isn't there, is there any more to say about it? Then, like I'm hoping to hear some
The
killer news.
submission process is extremely detailed.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
kind
if
of
you,
fucked, right?
Oh my God! Well, yeah, really fucked. I mean, like they wanted
She's the
everything to
one
be
that did it. I'm not- I'm
uniform
just
in
the-
the best
I'm just
quality,
here.
and it's like, you have to be 4K with this and this and this, and if you what signature, we had to like send it to New York for Darren to sign it, and we're like, oh, okay, well, so do we bring it in? Oh no, you just scan it and upload it. I'm like,
What?
Then why the hell did I have to go to New York?
You're confusing.
But like our Academy screening room link and everything is supposed to be ready by like before the end of September. So we're actually doing ahead of it because it closes on like October 9th. But if you wait to apply, so I'm glad that we actually qualified last July, so we were able to start at the beginning of the submission process because you still have to go through all of that. Regardless whether or not
so
you win a
many
festival,
hoops.
you just
Yeah.
have to have, the only thing it gives you is this letter saying, hi, they can do it. Now they can fill out the 5 pounds of paperwork. That's all you get from anybody for the qualifying event is a 1-sheet piece of paper to say,
Yeah.
yay. But
And then they tell you have to hire a publicist for it and stuff. Or,
well, we kind of did because I don't know how to do all of this.
yeah.
So we went
Look,
with
I might do
Conscious
social
Hollywood.
media stuff, but I don't do that.
I know I suck.
It's
at
a
social-
whole
I'm an
different
artist.
thing.
I
I'm
suck
a
at social
cosplayer.
media.
I'm a writer.
I really
I'm an
do.
actress. I don't do public
I bullshit
cis
for a living.
stuff. Okay,
And,
that is out
It's
of the Bella
exhausting. I mean, it's really
hyperfixation circle.
time-consuming. And I mean, luckily, she and Sue Ann are really good at interviews. Matt's doing another interview with an awards magazine. Joe and Sosie are going to be having some stuff coming out, which is great because I mean, everybody's been really supportive. And Easter
Matt's very
Seals is
sweet. He
actually
was awesome.
going to be hosting a special screening down at their headquarters in Irvine on November 13th. So it'll be like for the whole community.
I
to go
mean,
down.
knock on wood, but this is these
It's
are
really surreal.
Most short films don't have this many
So-
wonderful people backing them.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It
It's
feels
a really
I was
kinda
special
so
crazy.
happy
situation.
that they were unemployed in October of 23 because we shot the
And that their
weekend
hearts are in
before
the
it
right
ended.
place.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them have a connection on one way or another, but even those that didn't at all, you know, one of the crew members, their daughter was diagnosed with autism after working on the film. I won't say who because I don't have their permission, but it was one of those things
of
where, like,
privacy
I
and
actually
respect.
would have been freaked out before I worked with Bella. They're like, after working on this, I realized it's not the end of the world. This
So
is something
gave
we can
that
do.
parent a better perspective.
They're like,
That's really
this
wonderful.
isn't something that I freaked out about. If this had been 6 months ago, I would have thought it was the end of the world. And I'm like, yeah, because when Kennedy was first diagnosed, the only reference that I had was Rain Man. I nearly wrecked my car.
And like I know like there's some other stuff that has that stereotype, like, and I've seen it, and like as we see it, or like Ezra, or like I'm gonna mention this one, Music, which is Sia's film, and oh my god, I remember seeing some of that and feeling kind of horrified on that one. Jeez.
But you gotta start somewhere.
I think I nearly
Although I will have to
had
say,
a heart attack over that one. If you've seen it, I'm like,
I haven't seen it.
who
neither have
wrote
I.
this one? Why? That's the stereotype at its worst, actually.
Well, what's ironic is, for example, like one person that they educated was Katy Perry, of all people. On Kennedy's birthday back in like 2015, we were managing the YouTube tour, the Unplugged tour.
Yeah.
And Bella's first on-camera thing was dancing with Katy Perry. They did a close-up on her.
I remember that.
And her people provided the footage. But her sister, it was her birthday that day. And we've got the cousins, everybody. So we're behind the stage. And she wrote Katie a letter. You know what? Thank you for my birthday concert. You did a darn great, spectacular job. I'm so proud of you.
That's just how
what was
Katie
it?
is.
You didn't dance with me. You danced with my sister, but I let you touch my hand and give me a high five. And she's like, and you tore a hole in your pants, but my mom taught me how to sew. I could probably help you fix them. Because as soon as they yelled cut, she's like, I tore a hole in my vagina because she's wearing a jumpsuit. She's like, it's really airy down there. And you could tell the moment she did because all of a sudden, like, the knee snapped together. So she's like, I don't want to like dance with my legs really far apart. Because I couldn't remember which color underwear I was wearing. And I'm like, yes, that is a certain horror that every girl will experience at some point in her life. But like literally, Katie and her people wrote back.
Concert, I guess.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
a live show with an audience?
With an audience and cameras, especially down there, angling up. Yeah, that's not horrifying. But it was actually really sweet because
Memorable show.
They wrote her back. They were like, "Oh my God, we cried. That was so sweet." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that is. And
she
Kennedy's
did write to
perception
Tim
there
Burton.
was...
And Kennedy's perception was dead on. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. Thank you for my birthday concert.
Yeah.
And Katie was like, "You're very welcome." I mean, since then, she's had her other issues in life, but at that day, at that moment, it was like the perfect day. Although it was 1 billion degrees and we were melting, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Same thing with like David Hasselhoff. I'm like, how
and,
many
like,
people are going to come up and sing opera with him?
She did write Tim Burton after seeing Frank
And she wrote
Weenie.
Tim Burton after seeing Frank and Weenie. Will you come over to my house and help me reanimate animals?
Oh.
And I put a note. She's autistic. She's not asking you to dig up the neighbor's cat.
She is.
I'm like, actually, she probably is, but please don't call child services.
Please.
It's funny because in the movie it does not go well.
Yes,
The
I know it doesn't, right? Well, Helena Bonham Carter had just done a film where she plays the mother of an autistic kid. She's like, this explains Tim because he's on the spectrum. Well, he doesn't write people back. She got a form letter like, oh, he doesn't write people back, blah, blah, blah. And then like a month later, we get this thing from Airmail.
And he wrote her back.
And he wrote her back. We have a signed postcard of Victor and Sparky from Tim Burton. And on the back, it's like, when I was a kid, they said I was weird too. Don't let it get to you. And I'm like, okay, so if you write him a fan letter, that's one thing. But if you ask him to come over and help you dig up the neighbor's cat, then that's something he's going to relate. Okay, well, yeah.
She
fine, you're
spoke his
weird.
language.
And she spoke
She's
his language.
weird.
And I'm like,
We're all weird.
which is why we told the kids to stay
Good
weird,
crazy,
man.
that crazy. And I want to deal with that kind of crazy. That's
I'm
why.
like,
Absolutely.
why not?
I mean, that's kind of what, like, I was able to resonate with my friends, and just, like, that's how I got through a lot of shit, like,
But it was,
and now, like, that I'm actually, like, close to finishing writing stuff for my, like, animated universe, and, like, the burdens we carry, and, like, it's basically an intercollective universe, basically, like...
yeah, and then she comes and runs ideas past me, and I'm like, you're sick. You're twisted, child.
I mean, my other friends have just as crazy universes and stories, and
I know, which is why
when
they
it comes to
run
being
them
an
behind me.
artist, the best thing is just being inspired by the people that
You know,
you're
it's sweet
surrounded
when
by.
her friends are like, "You're really sick." You know that? And I'm like, "Yes, thank you." But David Lynch's daughter,
and you're the
same
cool
thing.
One. You're the cool one.
No, they just think I'm disturbed
No, you're cool.
in a totally unusual way. But why not? Well, because I was giving them ideas for different stuff because they're like, she was talking about this one video game, and I'm like, what? Two-tone bard can't tune in a bucket bard.
Venti.
Venti. Why did they name him after a Starbucks cup?
It wasn't.
Not my fault.
It was Genshin, in fact. But
I'm like,
but Paimon called him Tone Deaf Bard, and you
tone
came
deaf
up,
bard, two-tone bard, can't carry a tune in a bucket bard.
And every time I come up with a Genshin cosplayers,
So
and
like
you just come
with
up with more
her
Venti
character Hugo in
insults.
the animated series, she's like he can go through
He
things.
has a ghost curse.
He has a ghost curse, so he goes through things. And I'm like, well, why doesn't he fall through the floor?
And then he fell through the floor.
And then he falls through the floor because
Occam's razor.
Occam. That's what I thought. She's like, wait, what the hell does this have to do with shaving? And I'm like,
That's Jesse.
because of her the other character. or whatever.
Jesse's ADHD. Jesse's my chaotic ADHD child, and Hugo is just my hyper analytical child.
But
Who
Jesse's on the
unfortunately stole
spectrum.
my keyboard the first time. He stole
And-
my keyboard.
The only reason why he falls
He
through
would
the
not give
floor
it
is because she
back.
got him to think about it. So suddenly he realized, wait, why am I still above the floor? Punk, and you just put it
I
down.
mean,
through the
it makes perfect
stage.
sense.
I'm like, it made sense to me. She's like,
Olivia
my
and
God, that
Tommy
does. I'm
both
like,
damn near got a heart
he's the
attack.
ghost and he's trying to hide up in the rafters in the theater. And I'm like, so what does she do to try to get him
It's like
down?
Phantom of the Opera,
It's a light show.
but an actual ghost.
And I'm like, so she starts turning on all the colored lights and everything in order to refract through him
Because she's bored.
because it'll annoy him enough to come down.
ADHD child. She's
I'm
my
like-
chaotic ADHD child. But with the thing when he fell
I'm
through
like-
the floor, Lucius was probably doing something, just grabbing snacks for everybody, and then he was like, I was gone for 5 minutes! What did you guys do?
There's very many.
He's another character that I've written as autistic, but he's a lot more like me, and he's like, guys, I was gone for 5 minutes.
See
what
how much
would you
And
do?
it's what happens when you
but
give her
it's
a-
a full animated series.
Yeah,
Which is-
it's really
which is
cool.
so cool.
I'm an artist.
See what
I'm
happens
not
when you
sure
give her
how
a
to
chocolate chip
animate,
cookie and a
but
full
I
soda?
have- but I am an artist. I've
No more
drawn my
caffeine
characters.
for you.
I've drawn I've been drawing for like over 10 years. And I've been working on this for over 10 years.
Well,
So
that and then like for Rayman, the song that she sings, "Distant Goodbyes,"
that's
is an
for
original
one of-
song,
That's an original song, and that's
Like,
in
it's on
universe
Spotify.
for Burdens
but
We
it's all
Carry as
written
well.
for the animated series. And then she covered the one for "Woe to the People of Order," which is basically she's a general. They come to her for help, they betray her, and then she fucking goes scorched earth on everybody. And I'm like, wait, you had your hounds devour all of these allies? I'm like, what the hell is this? And then the last one, I know, right? And then the
Garden of
last one
Art's
is the Garden of Art,
original
which is actually
version.
about friendship, because she's not big into. We'll get these guys like, oh, can I be your boyfriend? And I'm like, this is her
father.
mother.
Or this is
No,
my
the
father.
Hispanic boys, I'm like, this is her mother. Because they know better. I'm like, but yeah, my
They
husband
got a
went,
chunk. You got a chunkla.
yes, and you better learn how to aim before you can hit it in the house.
Well, Nana could aim.
My nana could throw a chancla like a boomerang. A chancla is a
Was
sandal
it-
a
was
Mexican
it-
mother uses to beat her
Was
children.
it? Was
Yeah.
it she? Didn't it one of your?
My cousin was running for like the hills, and she like took him out in the middle of the
like
street.
40 feet or something.
Yep. Don't piss off a 4-foot tall Mexican lady.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Slam. You got to know. You got to have survival instinct. Honestly,
Yeah.
but like we have one more project that's actually finished that we're looking for that we're financing. Is just
It's a supernatural western.
Supernatural Western and
She's a vampire that buys
short
an ex.
or
No, feature.
feature.
It's a supernatural western about a vampire who's trying to solve her father's murder and buys a guy off the gallows who's the only human in a town full of monsters.
He's the only neutral party. You know,
They
as long as
agreed-
he's not
they agreed
eaten.
not to eat him.
So they have to agree not to eat him, and then he's the only person that's the neutral party. So Although we did turn all the werewolves into cattle ranch hands.
And when to go.
Well, natural instinct to be able to herd, right? Give them
That's
something to do.
actually
You could
very
pay them
true.
in cows.
That's true.
And you pay them in cows.
I was laughing.
I've always been a big werewolf fan. I always
And I'm
thought
like-
werewolves are the
But
coolest.
we were looking up like Native American, like, all of the myths and everything. We're like,
And I remember
so
skinwalkers.
skinwalkers, which makes that freaking History Channel series a lot more sinister because I'm like, they wear you like skin. They wear you like a costume
They
almost,
wear you like a skin suit.
which is creepy.
Murder drones. What?
And
So a
but-
couple features, including the Once More Like Rain Man feature,
which we have
and
to
an
figure-
animated series, and lots of cool shit.
yeah.
And you're creating all the time.
And she plays Clementine in the Supernatural Western.
Yeah. I
Although
still,
he has a gun for a while, but she's like, really? If you shoot anybody in this town, you're
you're
just going to piss him off. I'm like, it's not really going to do
Oh,
anything.
darling, you're just gonna piss him off. That's
Because we have
That's
her
really
like
cute, but I don't
leading
think
him
that's gonna
across
work
the
yet.
desert,
So-
and so they have to stop basically, and she like drives the spike into the tree that he's attached to.
Poor Wyatt.
She walks away. He tries to run, thinking, so he clotheslines himself basically because it's like punk. I'm like, because she's stronger than she looks. She's very sweet right up until the point where you think she's going to eat you. I'm like,
And?
well, just don't piss her off.
exactly.
I'm like,
Sweet little,
There is
sweet
that.
little girl.
which seems to be a common theme with you is, and
Imagine they hire me for a video game and I just end up playing that too.
no, you're just
That'd be
going to
funny.
play herself. There you go.
That'd be funny as hell.
I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. I just think that'd be hysterical if somebody like got me for a video game project and I just ended up playing the scary but sweet little girl.
Hire yourself. There you go.
Yay!
That's
That's what we
Excellent
did
advice,
basically,
yeah.
and we
That's
hired
what
everybody we
did
knew.
for Once More Like Rain Man because like
yeah.
sure,
Nobody
like,
was
I still
working.
get auditions, but not as many right now because I know like there's some stuff going on. But like still, it's good
get
to
bored.
The
hire
whole
yourself.
industry is
We get bored.
slowing down.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
bad.
not-
and yet the
just
public
for the
still
actors.
wants.
Yeah,
It's not just for the actors; it's also for the casting directors because they're not
And the
getting
crew.
stuff either.
Yeah.
So they're bored too. It's not just
although
us actors.
I have to say, 'cause-
No, and all the crew people are suffering.
oh
yeah.
God,
They're
yeah, like I'm a
bored.
teamster,
Yeah.
so like
Yeah, you're-
transportation,
yeah, you're
casting
in- you're in
directors,
the-
locations, and so many people are like losing benefits and stuff.
It's
It's
like
bad.
you're stuck in limbo,
Yeah,
but
and
without
we
the
don't do
benefits
well in
of
limbo.
cool
Yeah, it was the
parks
double
and limbo.
whammy of
Creative people
of
do not do well in limbo.
pandemic, then
Mm-hmm.
strike, and now
Slow down.
all the people with the big checkbooks are like
Just-
sitting back and going, "We're not sure what we want to do next."
Well,
but
that
what we're
and
not
let's-
going to
can
do
we
is
not redo in like another live action remake of whatever.
Please,
Oh
I'm
my
actually
God.
begging you on my
like-
hands and knees, please.
Oh, she's like, is there anything that's like?
Like
I've,
Fine.
I
I've
have a-
refused. I've refused to see all of them.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
thank
them either.
God, please.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
Don't
either.
I
ever.
won't. And
Like,
and,
I have a
and,
person-
and just down the street from here, across from Whole Foods, there's a billboard that's always got that company's
Yeah.
latest movie,
I
and I'm
just-
like, live action this, live action that. I'm like,
I have a personal
They're
gripe.
like, you have a
if,
pretty big library. There's other stories to be told.
Yeah.
Either that or just throw different characters into the same story to remake the same story. I'm like,
Yeah.
and they don't realize that just churning out,
the same shit.
trying to
Slop.
profit off the same IP
Slop.
as they call it,
Right.
is eventually they're going to lose their
I'm like, you know what? I don't
audiences
think
to
James Bond
creative
needs
shit
to look
from
like
Korea,
me.
right? South
Right.
Korea. Everyone's getting into South Korean cinema and stuff. They've been into
Like
it for a
the
while.
Demon Hunters that took the internet by storm.
Yeah.
Like
The thing that she's talking about for
remember
murder
seeing,
drones, you would like it because it actually the creators love the 80s. So it's like Camp Crystal Lake is one of the episodes. Like the prom episode is Carrie, basically. And so you see things from like the 80s where you're like, oh my God, and she's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, okay,
did the thing.
we're going to sit down and we're going to look at the original because you need to understand why we are geeking out over here.
We do that too. We do that
Yeah.
too. It is.
And I'm like,
And,
I have
and then
a
I
Camp
cross my
Crystal Lake
fingers and I
counselor
pray the
t-shirt.
original holds up. Because if you haven't seen it for 40 years, sometimes like you're a little nervous showing.
Well,
Yeah.
and her sister loves Jaws, so she's like, let's go see the thing, And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm all,
I remember.
But it's like Jurassic World, where everybody started rooting for the dinosaurs when they started eating people, and I'm like, wow, this is a tough
I
road.
remember seeing like one thing about like an animator from like Pixar complaining about people not wanting originals, but
They do.
But we do. K-pop Demon Hunters crashing, like taking the box office actually proves that we want originals. The higher ups are just preventing them from telling the original stories. Please stop sabotaging people. We actually want creative things.
Well, what's funny is that when we did the thing for Stanley,
it's nice when we get a nice.
when it was Stanley Media, it was lost in cyberspace, was what Scuzzle was. So we had basically the the fastidious queen and her daughter, who was beautiful. She sucked it in like Grandpa, but then when she let it go, she was more like Jabba the Hutt meets Foghorn Leghorn.
Can I make a bad joke?
Always.
Why did Jabba win the pizza eating competition?
Oh God, why?
Because no one out pizzas the Hutt.
Fair enough.
You hurt my brain. I'll get you back later.
Oh God. No.
I will spend time on that.
No!
Uh-oh. Fear. I sense fear.
Fear. Spamming X.
You know, I went through menopause
QuickTime
during
event.
COVID, and
Oh no.
so everybody was locked in this house with me, with power tools.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
like,
it did
I'm
kind of.
well familiar with this.
It
Game night
did
with my
toughen them up
friends.
some. So there is that.
you want to know where voice acting is most useful? Game night, especially when you're doing Deltarune with your friends. It's the most chaotic
And then
thing
somebody,
ever.
and then she sabotaged me and threw me in the moat and left
that
me.
is a hat in time, not Deltarune.
And she's like, "Oh, it was on accident." I'm like, "Really?" Because I spent a lot
I
of time
showed you
swimming in
that
that
thing
moat,
with Tenna,
and
you
she
said
kept
that's-
on going on her merry way. And I'm like,
I showed you that thing with Tenna, and you said that was straight out of
5
the
times.
70s.
5 times in the moat.
That was an accident. The camera was fighting me.
Sure.
It
But
actually
game night can
was.
get pretty serious.
Game night actually is very cutthroat.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
we
play,
tried
like-
Jenga, and that was
I try to not take it too seriously,
Oh, we take it very
but I
seriously.
generally,
Carol
but that's
Burnett?
because I always win.
Remember Carol Burnett was
I,
sorry? I'm like, that kind of.
I want to talk.
No, nobody wants to hear you.
Want to hear me? I did
I
like
love
game
you.
night with my friend Aqua. Like we're playing Detroit Become Human, and that like I accidentally got Connor killed on my first try. The only thing I ended up saving was a goddamn fish.
Wait, is that when you turned that what's his face into fish bait?
Oh no, that's pressure.
Okay.
That's Litten with pressure and Cat.
That's one of
and
her other
angler
friends that got
food.
basically turned into
Kat
food.
decided it was a good idea to turn my friend Linton to angler food because the angler is one of the monsters. Because
Like you do.
She shoved
I don't
him
have to
out
be
of the
faster than the
locker.
monster. I just have to be
She
faster than you.
She shoved him out of the locker. Yeah.
Hiding.
Yes.
See,
She
that's an
shoved him-
80s horror movie.
But he got her back.
And what do you do, Bella, when you run into the bathroom when the killer is trying to chase
Oh,
you down?
easy. You put baby oil on the floor. You put curling iron on the door. You grab the Aquanet and a
Bic lighter?
blowtorch or a
Bic
Bic
lighter?
lighter. Or you grab the compressed air and turn it upside down, or the tank of the toilet. So when he says, "Here's Johnny," all you hear is thwack.
I'm like, make good use of your time while you wait.
That is,
Because she was
is,
complaining at 80s
Or you
movie.
can also
like,
grab the thing from the shower curtain, the shower curtains, and maybe use it to strangle him.
I would love to see a horror movie where all the victims actually were smart and did the right thing.
See, she made Andy
I would like
watch
to
all
see
7
that.
Saw movies in a row. He was having nightmares.
Not because of the plot.
So
The
she
plot
could figure
sucked.
out the
But the
traps.
only reason I watched was because of the frickin' traps. I wanted to be the smart one to get out of trap.
But see, I want it to be where everybody gets out. There needs to be more than one killer because you have to be able to get rid of them. You have to be
Why
able to-
they
Because
fail more than they
we
succeed?
have all spent
Come on,
a
guys.
lifetime
I want-
basically trying to
Ah.
come up with, how to defeat them
It's like
at length.
It's like some of the I noticed when I later down the line on that some of the traps just got lazy and I'm like, bruh.
Yeah,
why?
you're like, put some effort into
Put
it.
some.
Although
I'm a writer. Put some effort
My-
into this.
my friends and I were watching Nightmare on Elm Street when we weren't supposed to be, when my parents were out of town. So we're on the couch and my brother hid behind the couch. So remember
It was
that
evil.
scene where she pulls Freddy out of the dream and he's in the real world and he pops up from behind the bed?
And
That is exactly when my brother leaped up from behind the couch and
popcorn
screamed.
went
That is
And
dedication.
we threw popcorn in the air. My best friend peed her pants. I'm like, and then we chased him down to kill him.
But the only
because he was very pleased with himself for like 2 seconds, right until the point where we recovered. But
Well, I'm going to use this as a segue to say that you're already talking about like cool films from the 80s and shit. So that we can get to you answering those 4 questions that we're going to do in the next podcast, let's wrap it up and then we because I want to hear your favorite movies and stuff.
I don't have
so
any
I want to
favorite
hear
movies.
that in the next podcast. So, social media, website stuff. Want me to type it? As you say?
Yes. We got our Instagram for the film OMLR
movie.
OMLR movie. That's the handle. I also have my actress Instagram, Bella Zoe Martinez, but I also have my art Instagram, Bella_Days, DAZE. Not like days of the week, it's days, like days bewilderment.
She's dazed.
I don't know why.
Doesn't that have an
captions-
exclamation point
Yeah.
in it? Does that one have an exclamation point?
Yes, but
Okay.
but
That
you
is
can
also-
still, but you can
And you
still
can
find it
you can
normally if
email
do
them
it
to
like
me so I
that.
make sure I don't mess up.
It's all because that's also the moniker that she uses for her songs. So
Yeah.
they're like on Apple Music and Spotify. And all
Oh,
this stuff
excellent.
too.
I use
we'll
it-
link them all.
Yeah.
And like because we basically try to tag everybody in the movie because they've been really good at like keeping up with stuff. Which
I
is
do
great.
it like that because, like,
Although,
that's actually how I came. Like, my YouTube handle was actually how I came up with Bella's name.
That's what
because
she-
that's actually
picking
the
it out when you're
character
in
I
eighth
draw
grade.
in the film. The character I draw in the film. The character on the cover art of Distant Goodbyes. Her name is Bella Days, and how I came up with her name was actually when I was renaming my YouTube channel, which was embarrassingly named enough Bella La Loopsy AG9116. Yes, that's the actual name. 8-year-old me thought that was the cool shit. Okay. I don't
I
know
am
why.
so
It
glad.
just was.
we're allowed to change our minds as we get older.
But when I was playing like Doki Doki Literature Club for myself and just making little vlogs of me making it, I wanted to come up with like a cool name, and Bella Days was the thing that came to mind. And I'm like, that sounds like a cool character name. Wait a minute, I have a character that's been a persona that I'm changing into an actual character that's technically been nameless for years. I'm gonna name her
so
Bella
as opposed
Days.
to Hey You
Yeah.
or Hey Jude.
Yeah, because
But that would get you on
Because
copyright.
because without that character, no other character would exist. So you can thank her for starting the saga.
I can thank her for all of my emotional scarring.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm gonna
Meanwhile-
ramble off. I'm gonna ramble off the things I ramble off at the end of the podcast,
As opposed to us rambling.
which are
No more Pepsi for us.
thank you, Bella. Thank you both for being here. If you are listening to this, like and subscribe. Be nice. Maybe even write a review. Who knows, right? Kindness. If you're kind to people, it actually rewards the person being kind as much as the person receiving it, right?
You're kind.
Right.
We all deserve kindness.
I think so.
Kindness begets kindness, you know?
That is what I want to think.
You always
That's
find
what I
something
believe.
I believe it too. All right, so discoveryindiefilm.com is the website for this podcast. Discoveryindiefilm.org is the website for the nonprofit that runs the 2 film festivals, including
good, which is amazing.
Film Invasion LA, which has
Are
had
amazing.
2 of your films, and Sherman Oaks Film Festival, which, well, just my timing hasn't, but they're the same team, same everything, different names. Film Invasion LA is always in June, and if you want to learn more about that festival, go to filminvasionla.com or at Film Invasion LA on social media.
Go find them.
Its sister festival is Sherman Oaks Film Festival. That's every December, and you can go find that at ShermanOaksFF.com and at ShermanOaksFF on social media. And I call them sisters. They're getting a cousin next year.
Really?
Film
What kind of family do
Invasion
you have?
Lima, Peru.
Oh, I saw that on Film Freeway.
Yeah, January
awesome.
20. Next January, we're going to have a festival down in Lima, Peru.
That's awesome. You need
So
to
cool.
Learn more Spanish than donde está la biblioteca.
I know, my Spanish, I was halfway decent like
I was
35 years
fluent as a
ago.
kid.
Dios mío.
I lost it all.
Ay,
have to
Dios
practice.
mío.
And the team running it down there's like, you got to come down.
that-
I'm like, maybe you should do some Q&As. I'm like, Mike, I can't do
You're
it.
like, as if
I'm like,
I don't
maybe
wanna
I'll
get
be a
mugged.
photographer.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll do
You're
that. I don't know. I'm going to feel useless.
That's okay. You know what? A couple margaritas, it all comes back.
Yeah.
It really does.
I don't drink alcohol.
Go to La
I'm
Zona
not-
Rosa
I'm not even allowed
on Cesar
to.
Chavez Avenue. Ask for El Pollo. He owns it. He was a chemist in Mexico City before he came up here.
Not like the
And
guy
his
that
house
accidentally blew
margarita
up the
is
sink.
amazing.
Okay.
Not like the
Wonderful.
guy that blew up the sink.
No, not that one.
I'm admittedly a guy who spent a lot of his 20s at El Coyote.
Oh my God.
Back when the margaritas were like $2.
Yeah.
Like it used to be. But anyway.
My
But
dad
wait,
sent me.
wait.
Yeah. Go.
I know. All right. So I think I named everything. And thank you both again.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.
I love to ramble.
I know. Cookies and caffeine, man.
Sorry.
There you go.
We can thank Lily for the cookies and
Those were
the
amazing.
Coca-Cola organization
Cat.
for the caffeine. All right. And Chester for always napping.
Aw.
He's asleep. All right.
Oh, P.E.P.
Thank
Well,
you,
he had his
everyone.
squeaky.